Okay. Oh.
Hi, Mark.
How's your sex life?
Very good. Thanks for
I'm
asking.
fed up with this world. Everybody betray me.
All right. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast 418, Trope Talk Fridging. In case you don't know the term fridging, it's a short term for a woman who has been killed to either advance the story or advance a character moment or do something with the story to cause someone to be influenced, do something about that death. And death is a pretty common trope in stories, so whether it's done by a man or a woman makes no difference. And I believe it was popularized by a comic book with Green Lantern and his girlfriend and him discovering the dismembered remains of his girlfriend in his fridge and causing him to go nuts. So I'm all for death and murder and killing in stories, so yay fridging. I don't care who gets killed so long as there's value to the story. So...
Oh God, I'm so glad you said that, because I thought you were going to say I don't care who gets killed as long as it's a woman. I thought, well, that's going to be a bad start to the video.
Well, when you do kill off an attractive, emotionally connected character and they're a beautiful woman, that does connect more with an audience than Joe Blow. So, especially as a visual medium.
It's also the way that you can see hundreds of guys get killed and not feel anything, but with one woman, sort of have that. Men have that protective.
Exactly. Imagine Final Fantasy VII, instead of Eris dying, it was Barrett. And Barrett gets...
I don't even know. I don't even know who that is.
Big
know
black man. Big Mr. T.
Oh.
Because the black guy dies first, just like in the horror movies.
There you go. See? Yeah. And
just like in Roots.
Oh, really? He dies in Roots?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's been a while. Anyway, the idea is that we are more connected to the female form or figure in that story specifically because we are playing as a male hero and there's all this sexual tension between the two and they care about each other and all of a sudden, boom, she dies. And that's a shock. It's always a shock to have nudity or death or murder or explosions or you name anything that's exciting. It goes, whoa! What does that mean? So many things can drive... Sorry?
Is there a particular reason why it's called fridging? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Because in that Green Lantern comic where the term comes from, her body was in the fridge.
I wonder if
that's the only reason, though.
Wrote
that's the reason, yeah.
It was popularized by Gail Simone, who used that to make... what was her... It was a website called Fridging or something like that? I can't remember. She made some kind of website based off the trope, kind of like Mary Sue.
It's kind of ironic that feminists are against fridging when they're all frigid themselves.
Oh, really?
Well, they're kind of fridging the entire comic book industry right now.
Oh my god.
I just look and I see DC's comics like Seven Head in my fridge. I'm just like, oh.
They're there already. I mean, like, they have been replaced by something else, and like the originals are in the fridge.
Right. So
I just see Bob Kane's head in my fridge, in my salad drawer. And it's like, oh. Then you see Bill Fingers like fingers. Just like, oh no. Why are you doing that?
That's gonna be
good
for
fun
winter.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this just came out this month. It's got about 530,000 views. This discussion has been going on for years, the validity, the importance, or the lack thereof, or how sexist this trope is, and blah-de-blah. All this stuff has been going on. And now, Overly Sarcastic Productions finally made a video about it. So, yay for them. They're just playing to their audience at this point. They just pick a random trope and talk about it. I don't know what's the big deal.
Well, it's fun because I think I saw the comments for this video, and there was some reasonable ones where they were actually questioning what she's talking about, but
people are waking up.
I forgot to see. I hope. We can only hope, right?
I just hope that like she's not gonna be disingenuous, like with the what was that, the Lovecraft video, because like her retelling of the backstory of Lovecraft was, well, quite fictional to say the least.
Oh yeah. Here's
she
this
lied.
racist moment, and here's another. It's like, okay, we get it. You don't like him.
Deliberately made it racist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, 20-minute
well.
video. Let's get started. It will take some time. And Wisp is not here yet, so you know.
Video was sponsored by World Anvil, 100% guaranteed to not do terrible things to supporting characters. I've talked about this before in its own trope talk, but character deaths are a big deal. They're momentous occasions both in story and out, because not only is the character dead, which is obviously a bummer on its own, but it also means the total loss of all future potential for a given character. All their arcs, dynamics, relationships, everything, all lost in exchange for a one-shot gut punch. Now, most authors recognize that this is a hefty loss for their story, so they make damn sure the impact is worth the price. True, non-fake-out main character deaths are often heroic sacrifices, protracted tragedies, or carefully woven resolutions to their arcs after all the loose ends have been tied up. They're usually given time and narrative weight to reflect this cost. The surviving characters will process their grief, reflect on what the loss means to them, and are often fundamentally changed by the experience, maybe carrying on their legacy, setting off on a lengthy quest for vengeance, or viewing their layered and complex life as a personal inspiration to guide their way forward. This is not that trope. Fridging is the cute shortened form of the full name of this trope, stuffed in the fridge. Named
Wait. It's not the trope. Wait. What are we talking about? What? It's death. People die. What's the specific detail? Okay, she's gonna explain it, but
It's separate though.
she has.
Why
to
is
give
it separate?
Yeah, she has to be clear on this because this could be many things. It's you're intentionally
I
hurting
hope, yeah.
a character who has a specific romantic interest in that other character who dies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, male or female doesn't
Mhm.
matter.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right. Yeah.
but this is with
Well,
the normal trope anyway.
It's the death of a love interest to raise the stakes, really.
Which
That's
you
how I
would do
would-
anyway in death. You wouldn't just kill off a character because they're just there. You kill them off because it means something to someone. They're going to go
Well,
nuts.
I don't know. If it's a straight white male, they'll just die anyway. So
Oh, yeah.
that's good storytelling, right?
That's why the new James Bond is good, right?
Yeah, it's doing so good. It's making no money in the UK.
Well, the whole point, oh, I haven't seen it yet, but I still want to. The whole
Oh,
point,
yeah, James Bond dies. I'm just spoiling it for everybody. They kill off James Bond. So it's
No
like,
way.
It's like, why? And it's like, well, because if James Bond's still around, then how can the black woman become the new James Bond? Because James Bond's just a code name. Even though Spectre proved that not Spectre, Skyfall proved that it's not a code name.
Yeah.
So
One.
and all the Daniel Craig movies are interconnected. Like, they're not just one-offs like the old James Bonds used to be. They are literally like direct sequels with stuff. So
yeah. So think of it this way. Imagine your main character dies at the end of a story. That would have an emotional connection to the audience and all the other side characters in that story. In this case, it's specifically to the main character and his relationship with them. But again, this is the same trope of just killing off a character who's going to have an influence on the main character. It doesn't matter if it's romantic specifically, although in this trope, I guess you can argue that's the point. So it's the same thing. If you're writing well and you kill off a character for the sake of it, that's not very effective use of murder or death or killing. It has to mean something. So that's the golden rule in anything. Make your stuff mean something. Make the moment have some value outside of, oh, wasn't that cool how he blew up in 1,000 pieces?
Mm-hmm.
So what's a good example of a villain just exploding? Like he just blew up.
All the Marvel movies? I don't know.
Oh yeah. I was thinking of Terminator 2, where
yeah,
the T-1000 just explodes like dry ice. I think it was.
yeah,
Did it?
yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, because then all the ice melts and it reforms up.
Right, and he blows them
I
away.
thought he went to the. Oh, okay.
And then he slowly reforms. Yeah, that was like cool scenes like that. It's like, yeah, it's great. And then, oh, he's invincible. All right, we got to run away again.
The only problem with that scene now is
Oh, I see. Okay. Gotcha.
I watched Hot Shots Part Due, and they do that with Saddam Hussein and his pet dog. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie.
Which one?
What are you talking
Hot
about?
Shot.
The Adam Sandler movie?
Hot shots.
No, Hot Shots. Yeah, with Charlie
Nah.
Sheen.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
they
been a
freeze-
long time, God.
They freeze Saddam Hussein, like using a fire extinguisher, and like they blow him up, and then it's like a scene out of like Terminator where he merges back in together, but his dog also got frozen and blown up. So Saddam Hussein turns up with a dog's face, and then gets a piano dropped on him. Don't ask questions. Just watch the movie.
go
It's
with
great.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Naked Gun. You got to watch those movies. You just
Yeah, you have to do it, and it's just it. So I can never watch Judgment Day like seriously anymore with that part because. So,
Oh no, it's
sorry,
the meme-ified.
yeah, it's just like, oh dear, oh no. Seriously, having a bad day here.
yeah.
I feel bad for the people that you watch it with. They're just gonna look at you like a crazy person.
They look at me like a crazy person anyway, and I don't care.
Anyway, so the trope is specific to emotional attachments and trauma of the main character because of their relationship. That's it. So
How many examples there are for fridging, really? Like, there's this comic book example where it originates from, supposedly.
I haven't really paid attention, but the thing is, because death and murder and killing is so prominent in stories, you could use it just about anywhere where there's death.
Oh, of course, yeah. But, like, you need a fridge and a love interest.
Literally a
So-
fridge? I don't think you literally need a fridge, but
I mean, Indiana Jones has a fridge.
oh god.
Yeah, well, look at that. The franchise we all love died.
Yeah.
So
And they're making another they're making
They're
another
gonna
one.
kill him.
I
Yeah,
know,
so
I
they
know
can go.
they're making another movie. It's like,
Like,
Can
why?
Harrison Ford just
is
die?
80 years old.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, you want more money? No. Do you want a lot of money? Maybe.
No, it's just like, but he's just like that. Oh.
Part time.
Port time.
I bet he's just.
Can't
he
wait for
just
that.
I bet he just does it because he's like, he just hates everybody, and he just wants to make people cry when they watch his movies. Now he's like, oh, I don't care.
This is true cinema. Makes you cry.
I mean, he
He's
did
like-
that dog
he's like-
movie.
Yeah, but he's like that. Well, I can't shoot anyone now. Alex already done that, so I'll just destroy Indiana Jones. I don't care.
Is he going to be on a wheelchair for the 5th movie?
No,
Oh, yeah.
I'm just thinking of Harrison Ford's like that. Seeing the news, he's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have to kill 2 people on Indiana Jones now. It's just,
Yeah, he's kind of like a grumpy Bill Murray. He just doesn't give a shit.
he's like,
He has been
grumpy
grumpy for the
Bill
past 2 decades.
Yeah.
I mean,
What
yeah.
a joy.
Imagine making Bill Murray not look like the most grumpiest person. Yeah, that's pretty impressive because Bill Murray is pretty grumpy.
Yeah.
Isn't he
Anyway,
always grumpy though?
Bill Murray's kind of like
No,
that
not all.
non-interested dude who just walks around, does whatever he wants, and
Yeah,
doesn't care.
he's like, hi, I'm Bill Murray. Anyway, that was it.
I'm an actor.
Hopefully we'll get Garfield 3 with Bill Murray.
I think Space
No.
Jam was as good as it got with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that was the last time he's going to involve cartoons. Yeah.
What, the new one?
No, it's in the old one.
Oh, okay. Like,
Is it-
when he came back to
sorry,
the new one, I was like,
Let me
Jesus.
let me rephrase that. It's not the old one. He was in the good one.
All right.
This is a good idea.
No. He's in the only one.
He's in the only one.
Ah, there you go.
Here's Mad Courier 6. Thanks for the 5. Wild Wasteland in New Vegas shows us just how well fridging goes. In case you guys don't know, Wild Wasteland is a perk you can get in New Vegas, and right near the beginning of the game, you could go to a ridge and you find a skeleton. I think it's a skeleton in a fridge, which is,
Yeah.
Fedora.
which is a poke at Indiana Jones.
Yes.
But that trope's called nuking the fridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, It's when it's worse than jumping the shark. So it's when a franchise does worse than jumping the shark in a scene, it nukes the fridge.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait for that term. Nuking.
Nuking the fridge. Nuking the fridging. Yeah.
Nuking the frigid bitches that complain about shit. Yeah,
And then we'll have sharking. Whatever that means.
Okay. Anyway.
I think you do that. I think you do that on Tinder.
Okay. Anyway, let's go.
A now infamous issue of a Green Lantern comic where Green Lantern's girlfriend is murdered by the villain Major Force and stuffed in the fridge for him to find when he gets home. Fridging is the very specific subset of character deaths wherein a character is unceremoniously and brutally killed specifically and solely for the narrative purpose of hurting another, more important character. This motivation can be Watsonian or Doyleist, as in-universe villain motivation or out-of-universe authorial intent. In Watsonian cases, the killer is specifically motivated to kill the Fridgie because it'll hurt the character who cares about them. In Doyleist cases, the killer might have all kinds of personal reasons to want to unceremoniously brutalize this character, but the author's motivation in killing the character is only to make the more important character upset. The only narrative role this death plays in story is hurting a different character, and it's still framed as unceremonious and brisk. Fridging almost always refers to character deaths, but sometimes the character is instead subjected to some kind of horrible torture or fate worse than death with the same overall impact. The character that really matters isn't the one targeted for the horror, but the hero who's reacting to it. And the Fridgie's personal reaction to their awful situation is usually glossed over in favor of how much that focus character suffers by proxy. Because of reasons, fridging disproportionately.
I think the person who's getting fridged is kind of annoyed, slightly pissed off, because they're being killed.
Yeah, this is very similar to being captured and being tortured. And
yeah, but it's like, I wonder how the person who's being stuffed in the fridge is feeling. Well, nothing. They're dead.
Right. I mean,
anyway, moving on.
This is kind of joked upon in Princess Bride, where we have Wesley tortured, and then he actually dies, and Indigo's like, "Oh, what do I do?" It's like, I have to go get a miracle. So he has to. So they invent another thing. Yeah. So first there's the machine that can suck death, and then there's the wizard that can bring you back to life. It's like, oh, okay, but they do it in such a way where it's believable. So it's a machine, it's not magic, and then you have the wizard, which is also not magic, just a different kind of science. So
yeah,
fun things you could do with all these wonderful ideas, with good storytelling. Wow.
Well, yeah, the thing is, especially with a lot of these critics and everything, it's always like, how does this character feel about being dead? It's like
they're a secondary, if not tertiary character. Who cares?
Yeah, but it's like I don't wonder how my great granddad feels about being dead. It doesn't matter. He's dead.
Yeah.
Feelings don't matter once you're dead.
Yeah, think
that's it.
Think of the villages in any number of Japanese role-playing games that you come from. You're off on a quest. You come back. Your village is on fire, and it's the same. It's the same idea. You kill something which is important to the main character to get them motivated to seek revenge or not. So very, very. This is basically any setup to an intro of a story. A tragic event occurs. It's the impetus for the rest of the story.
Well, she said it's to prop up the more important character. Would you say that they're important? Wouldn't it be focus?
Oh, well, if the main character, then yeah, I believe they are more important.
Yeah, and it's not just the main character; it's also the villain. Could be a secondary character who's along for the ride. They see their father die or whatever. There's all kinds of great ways this works, but you have to understand this trope came about from a feminist who was offended that women were getting killed in stories. That's it.
Yeah.
Which is like, so
fictional
what?
Women.
Yeah. Fictional women, yeah, exactly.
Fictional women were getting killed in stories for dramatic purposes. How dare they? They should just be killed off because YOLO, right?
I thought men were pieces of shit.
Well, maybe pieces of shit, but at least they don't get stuffed in fridges. We die like proper guys,
Anyway.
No, we can't showcase that. We have to, I don't know, not kill women, I guess.
So yeah, there's not a lot of women in fridges. Why she says there's lots is just retarded. So
Yeah, it's just Kyle Rayner's girlfriend.
that's
In
it.
other news, water is wet.
Wow, one example. Thank you. That's great.
Speaking of, she gotten there yet?
She's getting there.
Slowly but
Fridging
surely.
disproportionately affects female
just love how you
characters,
both
often
know.
barely developed mons or love interests whose only salient character traits are the hero likes them. So when they're brutalized or murdered, often off-screen, their more nuanced male hero fam/love interests can become deeply unhappy about it. In fact, that's a very easy litmus test to help determine if a character death constitutes fridging or not. If it could happen entirely off-screen and have just as much impact on the story, especially if it does happen off-screen, it's probably fridging. Its only narrative impact is how it bums out the more important characters, with no exploration of how it affects the character actually being brutalized or killed.
Yeah, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, look at John Wick. You kill something that represents the love of his wife, who is already gone, so she's not being fridged, but you're killing a puppy. So you have these two things that the audience goes, oh my God, you killed a dog. You're a horrible person. And John Wick's like, you just killed the last thing my wife gave me and what it
But
represents.
Smud, how do we know they're bad if we don't see them kill a dog on screen?
Oh yeah, it happened off screen, therefore it's okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
as
don't
mu-
care
as-
as much.
I need to
as
see
much
his
as we
skull
as much as we
caved in.
meme about it, there's still more to it.
Yeah.
I want to see the dog be choked out.
Yeah, kind of like with Dr. Fauci. He was
Monster.
experimenting on beagles. It's like, oh my God. Got to see that. No, it's bad.
Mhm.
Is that fridging?
You gotta see to be believed.
You have to show it. You have to see the face being like eaten alive. That's how it works,
Yep.
apparently.
You have to see their soul leaving the body.
Oh God. Ah, here's
What,
Strawman.
like me when I watched Last Jedi.
Here's Strawman. Thanks for the 5. They killed off the fridge crystal skull. The fridged a frid. What the hell am I reading? They killed off the fridge crystal skull. The fridged a fridge. I mean, that's just cold. A fidge?
Is this a Mike Testa alt account?
I don't know anymore. May as well be.
What?
Mike, show yourself.
We gotta
Just
put him in the
chase
chat.
them
We
a lot.
gotta put him into the actual panel just so we know what the hell's going on.
Now to see who this super chatter really is.
Who is this person? What's going on?
Oh no!
Anyway, back
Oh man,
Mike just
Testa.
hacks the stream.
back to whatever the hell she's talking about.
Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Right.
Off
Killed
screen.
is such a dismissive fuck you to a character. There's no send-off, no admission of tragedy. The character becomes nothing more than a plot device for someone else's angst. Side character or not, nobody deserves that.
So wait a second. Wait, just slow down here. Remember, there's lots of characters that die that aren't frigid. So there's sacrificial lambs, for example. This happens in Mass Effect with Jenkins, right at the beginning. He's just a red shirt. It's like he's just some guy who dies. You're like, oh, people can die. Oh shit, this is bad. We just lost a Marine. It's not as
Right.
emotional, but it's just as valid a problem because death is on the line.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Sticking with Bioware, Hawk's mother. Is she fridged?
That
That's-
is one messed up storyline. That point, a lot of people are like, "What the hell is going on, BioWare? Why did you do this?"
Yeah, why? Well, we just want them to be unhappy. Hawk's unhappy all the time.
He resorts to drinking and whoring to be happy.
Yeah,
And that's just sad.
there is literally a reason why I took his name.
Big ears.
I connected with this
Oh.
character.
I thought that was your real name.
What? Why would it be my real? Why would it be my? Yeah, okay then.
Right. So, killing off the way that she was killed was just it was necrotic because she was brought back to life and trying to be preserved for whatever reason.
No, she wasn't even brought back to life. She had her head cut off, attached to a completely different body. We don't know where her body is.
Right. This
I was
messed
like,
up thing.
Yeah.
So
But that's used as a dramatic thing. It's a person that he loves. Okay, it's not a love interest, but it's motherly love. So is
Yeah.
that fridging? Or she's only really involved in the story to die.
At that point, yes, that's kind of the problem, especially when you combine it with that weird "close your eyes, I'm dreaming my mom's talking to me for the last moment" by the fireplace nonsense. Like that was
from the Legacy DLC. Yeah.
It was just this creepy, weird. Okay, what is this shit? What are you doing, Bioware?
Yeah, but it's also because it's like, oh, that's what Varric is saying. It's like, oh, Varric, you're really creepy.
Oh, yeah,
really creepy.
yeah. The argument,
Varric, please stop.
The argument that this is all a frame narrative and Varric is telling the story however he wants. It's like Varric,
Varric, you're drunk.
He closes his eyes at the fireplace and envisions his mother talking to him. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, crazy boy.
Don't put the beer down. Just step away from the bar and just put the whiskey down.
Step away from the fireplace.
You have to keep in mind that he was being intimidated by the crazy girl with the knife.
Yeah, by Cassandra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro.
Cassandra, I like to stab books. Pentagast.
Oh boy, time to restore some order to this book by stabbing it.
Yeah. She was so much better in Dragon Age 2, and I can't believe I'm saying that. But then again, things were a lot better in that game than Inquisition. Anyway, Phrygian, I'm not talking about... No, moving on.
Yeah. Here we go.
The off-screen test isn't quite enough to say if a death is fridging or not. See, while fridging is intended solely to upset another character, well-written character deaths almost always upset the other characters too. And since the character themselves is usually too dead to care, most of the lingering ramifications of their death only affect the other characters, typically by upsetting them. So the distinction...
So there are no fridges in Castlevania. It's just burning at the stake.
Yeah, again, she's saying the things that fridging only affects other characters. Yeah, the character who's been fridged is dead. Nothing affects them anymore. They are dead, unless the story involves.
Perfect.
Yeah, but unless the story involves resurrections and weird. Okay, unless the story is like anime, death usually means the end of shit.
And then there's Dax in DS9.
Oh yeah.
Then there's Sheridan in Babylon 5, but yeah, we don't.
even in Castlevania, they're about to be brought back to life. They were for a moment, and then they die again. Or sorry, they get sent back across some distance, and they wind up in an inn. Don't tell anyone they're back from the dead. It's like, really? Okay.
I mean, in those kinds of cases, it's just they sometimes play it as it's just not meant to be.
Yeah.
It's magical. Yeah. Magical hell summoning thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Dracula comes back every other day.
Yeah, it's kind of his bag. He just keeps resurrecting every 100 years. So.
I mean, remember, it's like as much as Lament of Innocence sucked, that game pretty much gives the reason for why he keeps coming back.
That was a different time in the world of.
It's the main series.
Yeah, but it was a 3D Castlevania weird origin.
It's canon to the main. It's canon to the main series. I'm sorry to break it to you.
I know. Yeah, I know. I played it. I was like, oh.
Hey,
God.
better than how Lords of Shadow did it. As much as I like those games,
the foundation was never solid to begin with. But why they had to do an origin story, I don't know. But yeah,
it's fine. It's better than other prequels out there.
Okay, well, let's just keep my sadness in check. I'll just keep going with the video.
Between a fridging death and a non-fridging death isn't immediately this definition. The key difference is a fridging usually makes the other characters upset briefly and shallowly, while a solid character death makes the other characters grieve.
What?
Frequently,
wait,
characters
what?
are never spoken of again.
So because Luke looked at the charred remains of his uncle and aunt, he went, oh. But because he was fighting for his life when he saw Uncle Ben trying to fight with Vader, he screamed, and therefore it's more important?
Go, Ben.
Okay, I came in a bit late. What exactly is the definition of fridging? Hello.
It doesn't matter because I don't think she even knows herself. So
It's
How characters react, I guess.
It sounds like it would just be putting a character on the side for him to come back later.
No, it's the death of a character that was emotionally connected to the main one, and it was the sole purpose of having them have an emotional traumatic reaction.
What's that to do with fridges?
I don't know. She's showing examples of aunt and uncle.
Guarantee? I don't know.
Yeah, aunt and uncle of Luke getting killed, and you're like, that's not fridging.
Yeah, they're perma-dead.
The name is
and
Owen
Obi-Wan is
Ambrose.
also perma-dead. He just keeps giving Luke some post-death advice from the grave.
Yeah.
I mean, the trope is called fridging, so naturally it comes from DC Comics.
Yeah, it's because of that fridge thing. But the thing is, it's like she's now going to start saying like the character only matters in the arc where like after the arc where they die, they don't come up again. It's like, okay, they're dead. Unless it's a weekend at Bernie's, I don't think there's going to be much more we can do with a dead body.
I mean, indeed,
Bernie was in a fridge.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
They kept him in the minibar.
And to be fair to the DC example, they at least acknowledge it once. What was it? Infinite Crisis.
Oh, thank God for that. Oh, jeez, glad they carried on. Oh, get out. Oh,
moving on.
Yeah, all right.
Moving swiftly on.
The arc they died in is resolved, or even before it's resolved. That Luke Skywalker was still bummed about Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru 10 minutes later. So as a second fridging litmus test, I'd like to propose a corollary of the iconic sexy lamp test, which explores if a story would meaningfully change if a character was replaced with a sexy lamp. This is the property damage test. If a dead character could be replaced by someone's prized Pokemon card collection and their loss would have the same or more emotional impact on the plot, that character was probably fridged. Now, this is kind of a rarity for this show, but fridging is a bad trope. It's not a frequently misused trope or a hard-to-handle trope. It's bad writing. Character deaths are not bad trope-wise, but fridging specifically indicates a lack of respect for the fridged character and their narrative potential. Fridging weighs a character's potential worth to the
narrative potential of a corpse. What are you talking about? You could say the same thing of any character that's secondary or tertiary.
Okay, I will.
This is literally going to be woman died, trope bad. That's literally all this fucking is.
Have you looked up what on how the term fridging is defined, where it comes from?
Well,
what is that?
I had it right here. It's called Stuffed into the Fridge. It's by
since these people love TV tropes so much because it tends to pander to. It tends to lean one political side too.
Didn't it all come from Kyle Rayner's girlfriend getting stuffed in a fridge when she got killed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it was
according to TV tropes, stuffed into the fridge or fridging, a loved one is hurt, killed, maimed, assaulted, or otherwise traumatized in order to motivate another character or move the plot forward. Now comes the important part. The term, sometimes referred to as fridging, was popularized by comic book writer Gail Simone. If you are familiar with Comicsgate, you know who that is.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I know, but I thought it was Simone, not Simone. So.
Through her website, Women in Refrigerators.
Well, you better get him out then.
Yeah, isn't she the reason Kyle Rayner went through that in the first place? Or am I thinking of someone else?
I don't know.
I don't think she wrote that. No.
And yeah, I don't know. But all I know is that Red is literally just saying it's a bad trope because in her mind, if a woman dies, bad trope.
Yeah, but what if it's a woman writing a woman dying? What then?
Does not compute. 404 error.
Yeah, I am waiting to hear how it's a bad writing.
Yeah, but she's got death tropes are not necessarily bad, but this trope is bad, and the only reason this trope is bad is because it affects women most. Women most affected by fridging. So
this is just.
I know. It's just. Oh boy.
If this originates in Gail Simone, it's just a waste.
Yeah.
I like to see the rationalization she makes, though. That's what's funny about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Story and concludes that all their future potential and growth and narrative are worth less than another character feeling kinda bad for a little while. This is reflected both outside of the story and in the story, since this character's killer, be it the character who kills them or the author who makes the call, demonstrably couldn't give a shit about them in their own right, instead choosing to focus entirely on how ending
That picture she's got there seems very suspiciously like Final Fantasy VII.
Yep.
Did you just spoil that game?
Well,
Yes, but it's been out for 20 odd years.
I did that the first 5 minutes of the videos.
Yeah. I spoiled the new James Bond movie. I don't give a shit about spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, nobody
who
gives a shit
cares?
about James Bond anymore.
That was probably
Don't
like
give a
the
shit about
first
anything.
scene I saw about the game, because I didn't even want to look it up. That was the first thing I saw of Final Fantasy VII, that one of the main characters dies in the middle of the game.
Trust
never
me,
liked
at the end,
Aerith.
yeah. Okay, that's the person who dies, right? I don't know. Final Fantasy VII. It's weeb shit. I don't know. I don't care. I never got into
This is
games.
Final Fantasy VII is a cultural milestone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was on the PlayStation, Wisp. How would you know?
No, it was also on the PC.
We don't talk about that point.
Cultural milestone.
I know. I played the demo. It was an unstable mess.
Okay.
But yeah.
So
So
are you saying
anyway,
I shouldn't play it?
I'm saying it doesn't really. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do.
I want to hear your argument about Eris dying. Really, I really do.
Yeah, but here's the thing: we're going through the fact that you've given up on all these new plot lines. Who's to say these characters are going to have those plot lines? The writer didn't.
This is such a bizarre fourth wall audience as writer argument. It's like, oh, if only they didn't blow up the building, we could have had more scenes in that building. It's like, what? Why?
Yeah.
That's the problem with Zack Snyder's movies. Too many buildings blow up. We can't do those stories anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, it does feel
All
like
the buildings are fridged.
yeah, it does feel like those things. It's like people go, oh well, if this character was still alive, this thing wouldn't have worked. And you're like, oh, no one cares.
Meanwhile, the comic book industry is looking at this like, hold my beer.
Why would you
Yeah.
ever kill a main character off then?
Oh, let's not
Like
even get
the
into that.
main-
Let's not even touch that one. This is
Yeah.
bad enough.
You can always do more stories.
Can you imagine her
Things
arguing
can always
about?
get worse.
Yeah, she's gonna make the argument. Oh, if only the main character died, so the female tertiary character could become the main character. Like, just go away. You're drunk.
But you know what it's gonna be. I mean, come on, Last Jedi, anyone?
Yeah.
Get out.
Anyway.
character's life will make another character upset for an arc or two. Their own life and death isn't as important or deserving of focus as hurting the hero by proxy. This successfully indicates that the killer is a terrible person, but it also reflects a level of dismissiveness from the author. A love interest / beloved character can be killed or deeply hurt in a way that predominantly affects the plot by hurting another character without it feeling like fridging. This is largely a matter of the execution, pun intended. If the death is unceremonious and quick and off-screen, that's a pretty bad sign, since it doesn't really give the character their due. It doesn't highlight the tragedy of their life and potential loss.
Who cares?
No.
That
You're really
character's not dead. That character doesn't die in the fucking movie. But what the fuck are you on about here?
Yes, she does, Hawk. Yes, she does. She dies.
She doesn't.
But not in that scene. She's not dead in there. She's faking it.
But he doesn't know that, so it motivates his
worse than
character.
what I wanted to say.
No, does she die at the end?
I don't
Yes.
care. Maybe, possibly.
She doesn't actually, because she brainwashes his striker
No,
to
no,
shoot
no.
himself.
Yeah, but she got
She
shot.
just doesn't
And,
back away.
yeah, but she got shot and dies. And
Oh,
Wolverine
yeah.
doesn't remember who she is.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it sad?
This is like saying
Try.
you can't emotionally traumatize the main character with death. It's like, why not?
It's a sin
That's
in
kind
and
of
of itself. It's a
What do you
sin
think
in and of
Batman's
itself.
doing?
especially in an adventure or in an action story.
It's a sin in and of itself to show X-Men Origins. It's another sin entirely to show the wrong fucking seed.
Yeah.
Hey, what about Logan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you dare compare this movie to Logan.
This is like the dumbing down of story. Like you can't hurt people, guys. That's bad because you missed potential storytelling stuff with this character. Now that they're dead, it's like no shit. That's the sad part. They're no longer in the story.
Okay, what was her name? What was her name in that movie? Silver Fox or?
I don't fucking
Canadian
remember.
woman.
Yeah. So you guys want? Yeah, the woman who died right there. You want to see that movie?
Well, not that movie. No. Her name is. I don't know.
Woman
Hopefully, Disney can give her her own show for the Disney.
Side note, the movies have up to that point had such a fetish with having a fuck ton of telekinetic characters. She's one of them.
Yeah.
Like there's Xavier, Jean Grey, this bitch, Emma Frost. How many?
Yeah.
You have to think of the themes.
Sebastian Shaw in First Class too. He was telekinetic.
Emma Frost's been done twice. That's how much of a hard on they had
Seems
for that
to be a base skill tree.
And Deadpool.
Mutants. They can move with their minds. Or
We don't speak of that Deadpool. We only talk about the real Deadpool.
All right.
Anyway, I wanted to bring up a literary example for this character deaths in off screen or this with just one or two lines. Wheel of Time did that repeatedly. Sometimes the characters came back books later with good reasoning why that was possible. For example, the first such character was Tom Merrilin, the what do you say? What's the English title? The Glee Man, the bard, if you will, an old man like the wise man who teaches the young adventurers some stuff, some basic life skills, and he tells them to run off while he sacrifices himself, kind of Gandalf style, but not as epic, as a diversion towards a dark monster general of the super evil guy. And they're told to not look back, because then they would slow down. So they don't. So they do not see how he dies or how he disappears. They assume he's dead, because at that point it's established that these guys who are bigger than the Trollocs, which is the basic grunts, are so deadly that whomever they set their eyes upon, or well, they don't have any, but you know the metaphor, does not escape, and their blades do not just cut like normal blades. They also infect you with dark curse poison that you can't remove with normal means, and so it's pretty. You can assume that that guy's dead. He's an old man. He's dead. He returns later with a leg wound, so he can't do his Gleeman stunts anymore. He was pretty agile for his age, but he's always limping for the rest of the story when he returns books later. Other characters, and Tom Merrilin is a quite lovely character to care about as a reader. Another one is the female sorcerer, who's also guidance for the band of heroes, if you will, as well as one of the Dark Lords who, more involuntarily than voluntary, switched sides and teaches the main character in magic. And he is killed off screen deliberately, so that to this day everyone is guessing who did it, because there's several possibilities. In the end, it doesn't really matter that much, but it's one of these little mysteries.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. 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 I think it's a good point.
All right.
And it's just even that guy becomes kind of you can sympathize with him because he's not actually a bad guy. He kind of ended up as one of the Dark Lord super servants out of circumstance. Like, do this or die. So okay, I'm going to join with you, evil guys. Okay, but that is just recall from I think 5, 6, 7 years that I last read the whole fucking thing. All so right. I may confuse a few things.
All right, here's Turmoil. Thanks for the 2. Has Red ever written any books or a good story? I don't think she's read, let alone written, any books she likes. Like, she just read all those Lovecraft stories, and she just bashed Lovecraft because he said some stuff about people of different races.
She read some of the classics of Homer and the Journey to the West. That is evidenced by her videos about these things. Beyond that, hard to tell, really. But no, I don't think she's ever written anything. And that we have to say at least Lindsay Ellis tried, although her product just ended up as an amalgamation of all the horrible tropes she hates so much because it sells so well to women. I would bet that Red would do the same.
All right.
You mean her abortion
Prove me wrong, Red. Prove me wrong.
The abortion movie.
I don't know.
Okay,
I've never considered the "let's see you do better" argument to be particularly strong or meaningful.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I wonder if she read
You can
anything.
critique something. You can critique something without having written something better yourself.
Yes, that is true. It's just part of the joke.
Anyway, we're only 5 minutes in.
My fundamental issue with this entire video, which was my fundamental issue when EFAP covered it a couple of days ago, is I don't understand why we're taking Gail Simone's nonsense seriously in the first place. Because if you've ever actually gone to her Women in Refrigerators website, so the whole idea is it's supposed to be a woman being unceremoniously killed or maimed just to advance the story of a man, right? That's supposedly what it is. If you actually look at the Women in Refrigerators website, which I have before, it's just a big old list of everything that's ever happened that's bad to a woman in a comic ever, regardless of context.
Yeah.
The Bible.
It becomes clear just from reading Gail Simone's website that there's no merit to this entire trope because it's Gail Simone doesn't like it when bad things happen to women in comics.
I mean, that's yeah, that could be more evident that if I remember correctly, she's the one that single-handedly reversed Barbara's paralysis.
Oh, God.
Even no one had a problem with it because she's better as Oracle.
This is how obviously I don't know if Axelot heard it earlier, but this is what I said. It was like she was going like, death tropes aren't necessarily bad, but this is a bad one, and I said, yeah, it's only bad because it's death that mainly involve women with stuff.
Yeah, well, that's exactly,
and that's it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and to clarify, I don't think we take Gail Simone's stuff seriously, but Red is.
Yes.
And I just, before you came on, I read the TV Tropes page about that, where I learned that this is some nonsense, because it doesn't make sense what Red is talking here. Yeah. And that's why I looked it up. And yeah, okay, if it comes from Gail Simone, I don't expect anything from her to make sense.
Right. I can only really think of 2 tropes that I know are inherently bad, and that is the Mary Sue and Deus Ex Machinas. But even in certain contexts, they could be fine.
Yeah, I don't even know about that, because you can write a Mary Sue
right
that works for either. I mean, you can write it as kind of a deconstruction of the idea of a Mary Sue, or you can play it write the Mary Sue as the centerpiece of a comedy, or
Well, usually when I say a good
Mary
Mary
Sue can work as a tertiary character.
Exactly. Like you talk about Mary Poppins. She is not the focus of the narrative. She's this magical maid that comes in, and she has all these mystical powers, and she can sing and dance to all these things and fly. And like, how is this possible? But it's not about her. It's about the family she's taking care of. And with Deus Ex Machinas become irrelevant if the world you're in has a bunch of supernatural powers and gods running around anyway, that the Deus Ex is just commonplace. So
it is an actual Deus.
It is like, oh, I've resurrected the dead again. It's like, oh yeah, whatever. So it doesn't make a big difference.
No, it's you can sparingly used and well integrated into the story. Even a Deus Ex Machina can work well. I love to bring up Xenoblade 1 as an example for that.
This is kind of why I'm concerned about the next Marvel film with a bunch of
the Eternals.
The Eternals, yeah.
The Eternals?
Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel better, the early reviews do not look good.
Yeah.
They better not.
Critics
Even
are
the
actually
Times hates it.
or the audience.
The early access critics are giving it on average about a 6.
Wow.
The access media is giving it about a 6, which means it is really, really bad.
About time.
If it's being poo-pooed by access media and it's a Disney movie.
Wow, I had no idea.
I mean, Marvel's technically Disney, but not entirely. But I get your point.
I don't know what happened to Glib, but Glib's here. Hey Glib, how's it going, buddy? Smudboy, you versus me boxing match. Let's go. 3 rounds. If you win, you get my car. If I win, you have to stream 24 hours of Nico Cado
that's just
Avocado.
Fucking...
Oh no.
Glib, I don't even know what you're talking about, but
he's talking about a fat man.
He wants to fight you and make
but like he can be disregarded. Like he still hasn't done the Neil Breen stream.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go back to the video, 2 quick things. First, Damon X said a while ago in the chat about when I was brought up telekinetics in the X-Men movies. He also brought up Psylocke, which I completely fucking forgot.
Yeah.
And also, if we're going to talk about Deaths and X-Men, what about Charles Xavier in the '90s cartoon? Wasn't he Fridge technically?
I don't remember the '90s.
Was
cartoon.
that the Phoenix arc with?
That was the show.
With the Shi'ar?
Yeah, the death of Charles Xavier in that show was the end of the show.
Oh, really? Okay.
But even Magneto's like calm the fuck down and actually showed people all the X-Men some respect.
Dude, you need to get your mouth away from your mic because you're really loud. You're so much louder than everyone else all the time that you're on this cast.
I can control that. I like it loud though.
It's just him, though. And not everyone else is as loud as he is. I just saw Matthias just said in the chat that Mary Sue's work in Slice of Life Isekai, which it's not an Isekai, but that reminds me of that anime. Oh, gosh, what was the English title?
Bible Black?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. No, it was, I think the English title was Don't You Know I'm Sakamoto?
Oh, yes.
Where that Sakamoto is 100% Mary Sue. And it's hilarious.
But that's the point. It's played as a joke. And
that's what I mean, is it can work. Mary Sue's are even a trope that can work
once you
in the right context.
Once you do a parody, and it's not quite a parody, it's not 100% a parody, it's this guy who's so perfect that he's trying to do the right thing and not hurt people's feelings and do everything in the most stylish way, that it becomes a joke unto itself.
Yeah. I mean, and arguably, Saitama is a Mary Sue. In terms of power level, I guess.
Right. But any parody of that nature is going to be fine. You can get away with a lot. Like parody and porn, really. Parody and porn are the 2 things. You can just do anything. It's okay.
Porn? I don't know how much porn counts.
Well, the reason why I say porn and parody is because we talk about freedom of speech, and those things are heavily protected. If you want to take other things and use them, you're allowed to do that. It's because it's done for obvious reasons. So because of that and its nature.
So,
I would contest
so anyway, after Smuds admitted his porn addiction, shall we just...
My parody porn addiction, yes. I must watch all the Batman and Robin porn parodies. Yeah, so.
Hey, I actually got a tweet requoted by a porn director who did parodies. And that was like one of the best days on Twitter ever. I was like, oh, nice. Because I think there was something about the costumes and everything like that.
Yes.
And like some of the costumes look more like comic accurate. And they said, why'd you do it? He goes, because I like comics and I'm not a hack.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing. See, it doesn't matter.
What context was that in? What were you...
Well, he's talking about the quality of the production value of the porn parody.
Yeah.
Because
we've seen a few, and they look so much better than what the conventional media produces.
BVS and like the Marvel movies and everything like because.
I also remember this one time where the simple response to the question of why does your stuff look better than the actual shows that are made about this? Did you reply was simply because we care.
Right, and this is the great argument. It doesn't matter what the genre is. You can tell when someone's trying their best.
Mm-hmm.
The quality, the heart of that person making the stuff. It doesn't matter what it is. That's why I embrace any Kickstarter. It doesn't matter the content, if it's adult or whatever. I don't care if it's for kids. You can tell these guys want to prove something to you. And
what was it? With the Captain Marvel porn parody, people were praising porn actress Kenzie Taylor for being a better actress than Brie Larson.
Well,
that's not difficult.
That's not,
That's hard, though, yeah.
What I'm saying is it's one of those things where...
I'm a better actress than Brie Larson.
Yeah, but it's getting really bad if, like...
I'm not even an actress.
Yeah, but it gets really bad if, like, a porn actress is, like, getting, like, rave reviews for their acting ability.
Yeah,
it's like you're supposed to be, like, a proper Hollywood star. I'm using quotation marks.
I mean, everything above a B cup has
Hollywood star, an Academy Award-winning Hollywood actress.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember, Brie Larson has an Academy Award for Best Actress.
And you know what? I'm glad.
I'll tell you what, it's not
It wasn't very high then.
And you know what? I'm glad those rumors about her playing Samus Aran were completely dead wrong.
That was
fuck off, man. No,
that's a rumor that was floating around before the Mario movie was confirmed with Illumination.
All right, that is just...
God, thank God.
Anyway.
I hate that idea.
The thing is,
I'm glad that was proven
she would have done a great job.
I would start
no
fridging
lines.
women right away.
I mean, if she's gonna be in an armor the entire movie, I would be okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
And someone else voices her.
What if the movie was based on Other M? We'd be screwed.
Why would you do that?
Nobody wants to base.
Why would anyone do that?
Oh,
because
the right to destroy culture. Yes, of course it would
haven't
be
you
made.
guys been paying attention? Other M is good now because it's about trauma.
Oh, fuck off.
It's about family.
That's not...
It's a film. It's a film
Someone
about
sold to
family.
trauma before fucking Zero Mission.
Oh, that's a
Who
good
said that
point.
about Other M so I can kick him the hell out of here?
Fast and Furious is good because there's no fridging in that movie. Well, except for Paul
And it's
Walker,
about
right?
family, yeah.
I can't speak for that one, though.
Fast and Furious is good now that Paul Walker...
Paul Walker doesn't die at the end of any of the Fast and Furious movies, though.
Yeah, no, but he decided to, like, go full-on method action and just die in real life.
You know, she'd probably say that Letty is an example of fridging.
Ugh.
Wait, who's Letty again?
Michelle
would the
Rodriguez.
cinematographer on Alec Baldwin's
Michelle Rodriguez.
podcast as fridging?
What?
So I
What? I just said, would the cinematographer on Alec Baldwin's newest film be classed as fridging?
Bruh.
I don't know whom her death inspired.
I don't know, probably inspired Alec Baldwin to go, God, I'm really enjoying this killing thing, I should just do it more often.
Well, he got a deposition. He had to, say what happened.
He supposedly shot 2 people.
Really? 2?
Probably the bullet ricocheted off the skull.
But he supposedly has shot 2 people. And then another story, he supposedly just went, you want me to shoot someone? Here I go, and shot the cinematographer.
He was ranting about Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump's fault. for those two women.
Orange Man bad. Alec Baldwin shooting.
Oh god.
Anyway, let's keep going. Here's
I
Joe
just wanted to contest
Tyler.
that. I just wanted to contest that Saitama is a Mary Sue. He isn't. He's just physically impervious and has unlimited strength.
Right.
Every other aspect of his life is complete crap, and he isn't loved by
He's
everyone.
more of a parody of.
It would be Gary Stu at that point.
And he's not winning at video games.
True. Okay. Let's keep going. Joe Crazy, thanks for the 5. Speaking of adult films, oh dear. Y'all should check the parody names for the TMNT characters. The parody names? Michelangelo and Donatello, all the Italian Renaissance artists? Okay.
Is it going to be something like Dildo? Something with Dildo with Donatello, or
Who cares?
Yeah,
Let's not do that.
Google that
Tyler
on your own time.
Larson is not one of the 7 X's in Scott Pilgrim.
No, she's not. She's a second
porn addict.
Six of them were men, and the other one was Mae Whitman.
Was it number 4? Yes.
Mae Whitman from
actually Brie Larson played the girlfriend.
You sound like you're eating your microphone.
Really?
It really does sound like you. Yeah, it sounds like it's.
I don't fucking believe you.
It does sound like you're deep throating your microphone.
Okay, all right, guys.
Really?
Why are we talking about so much porn?
I don't know, but let's get back to the video.
Usually I bring that up. This is such a weird day today.
This is not my problem.
I just don't get it.
Okay.
But anyway, I'll bring up porn parodies in a fridging video, and
Anyway, let's go.
Is there a porn parody of The Killing Joke?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, the animation film.
Yeah, the animation.
Oh my!
It's called the first. It's called the first 15 minutes.
The worst part is you're not even wrong.
It's called the first 15 minutes of the animated film.
Okay.
#BatSex.
Okay, let's go.
Every character is the hero of their own story, and if they die just to further someone else's story, it denies that character the basic dignity of...
Are you retarded? This is the dumbest...
No. Every human being is the hero of their own story. Every
do we even have
character
that at this point?
serves the purpose set forth for them by the author of the story being written. Not every character exists to be the main character.
What the fuck is wrong with this woman? Why does she not...
Okay, you want to characterize... I get it, you want to characterize people, you want to give the audience at least some emotional attachment, and not rely on...
Is that a cardboard cutout of Padme Amidala?
Yes.
No, that's just Padme.
Why in God's name are you arguing that Padme Amidala is an example of fridging?
You turned her against me?
Because she dies?
The event that created Vader. Yeah, very heroic.
Padme exists as a character through 3 movies. And her death does not happen just to motivate Anakin Skywalker
to become evil.
He's already evil.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's a man, right?
He's already killed numerous children.
Okay, Tyler, yes, I said one of the X's was a woman. It was Mae Whitman from Arrested Development.
And Avatar.
Not Brie Larson.
Guys, let's not argue over people.
Anyway.
Let's not argue over her.
But anyway, Padme Amidala does not die to motivate Anakin Skywalker. Her death does not happen just to make Anakin Skywalker feel bad. Her death is at the end of... her death is the end of a tragic downfall of an existing character where she is given in fully to despair. And now, her death is stupid. I don't even like Revenge of the Sith, and I'm arguing in favor of Padme's death being fitting.
Well, isn't it funny, too? Because it all came from his fear of losing her, right? So...
Yep.
Yes, that's the whole point. It's called dramatic irony. It's an old storytelling trope.
Yeah.
No, it's fridging now.
Anyway, good news. I found some donuts in my cupboard, so I'm going to enjoy the rest of the video now.
Hawk,
So,
you didn't tell me you're a cop.
I got some donuts at work today, and then I forgot them, which is
Oh.
sad because they'll be in the
That's
trash by
actually
the time I get
Donuts
back.
are in the fridge.
Your donuts got fridged.
Yeah, they did. Well, no, they didn't. That's the problem.
The donuts in the fridge next to the corpse.
My
Yeah.
donuts didn't get fridged. My donuts got composted.
Oh no!
It got homered.
Your donuts your donuts being like taken out of a story gives you the motivation to gun down your co-workers.
No.
Because you thought it was a prop gun.
Prop donut.
Oh, she's gonna bring up some more. Like she's gonna bring up the whatever it is, the broken lamp effect or something later on.
No, the sexy lamp.
Oh, the sexy lamp, yeah, where it's fridging if you could replace the character with a sexy lamp and nothing would change.
Yeah, she's already
which kind of.
I thought she said lamb.
No, lamp.
Christmas story.
No,
What is
no
all this
ketchup in
nonsense?
anything.
No, the
Yeah,
idea is if the character is being fridged if their death serves the same purpose as a value possession breaking.
Yeah, she put
because it means it's not a character; it's just an object.
All characters are pretty much objects.
Except
really, in the
you
story.
kind of
Especially women.
What's the word I'm looking for? You kind of it's kind of reductive to call an object like to call it just an object or a possession, because like people have things that are very important to them, like engagement rings, or like, okay, so John Wick's dog got killed, right? Now, I'm not saying John Wick's dog is an object, but let's say that instead of his dog, let's say that instead of his dog getting killed, what happened to motivate him was they attacked him and they destroyed his cell phone. Now, it's just a cell phone, but it's also like it's got the videos of the only videos he has of his wife on it. So it's super important to him. Like, people get attached to other people and to stuff, and it's really reductive to act like a possession being broken is not important. Because it's not that the possession itself is important, it's all the memories attached to it. And so you're not really devaluing a person by putting them in the role of a treasured possession. I would argue because...
Oh no, my wife, who I love dearly, yeah, well, it's just like a sexy lamp. Like,
and see, I guess because she says that the issue is that the fridged character's only trait is that the hero likes them, but that's not usually why. That's not usually like all we ever know. Like even in the John Wick example, his wife gets a surprising amount of characterization for only appearing in like little videos and letters and knickknacks around the house. And generally, like a character who is killed as motivation for the hero will get something. Typically they'll be very sweet, and like especially if it's a wife or girlfriend, they'll be very sweet and unassuming and
sickly sweet as well.
Yeah, and caring, and we'll get a sense that they're in a happy relationship, which is the idea. It's kind of shorthand as an inciting incident usually. It's not just, oh, my wife, and then she gets shot without ever saying a word. And even then, like you can figure out something about a person by the fact that they are the wife of the lead, because it means the lead loved them enough to marry them in the first place. So, like, I don't know. I don't understand why she considers this to be an inherently bad bit of storytelling. If she hasn't yet, she calls it bad writing. Like, outright, no exceptions, bad writing. And then she's going to go on to fundamentally misunderstand characters in order to justify calling it fridging.
Yeah.
My favorite is her example of X-Men Origins, where that's a deliberate subversion of fridging, because the girlfriend is killed to motivate Wolverine, except she wasn't.
I've already said that part. I was like, that scene, she isn't dying. So
but she does die, so
she's killed to motivate Wolverine to go do whatever it is he's supposed to do, join the Weapon X program, except she did that on purpose because she's working with the bad guys. So she's using it as an example, except it's not a deliberate subversion of that example.
Yeah. It's like she's not actually seen the movie, and she's seen like the first 20 minutes of the movie, and then assume what happens after.
And went ree. I gotta make this video.
It's clear enough that she really doesn't like Marvel.
It's clear enough she just really doesn't like anything.
Because she will say outright that the MCU is her favorite punching bag.
Well, I think it's the nature of these tropes. She's just here to get a punching bag to attack, and she just likes doing that.
Doesn't.
Oh, gee, that sounds familiar.
In Marvel as well, or does she like it?
I just think she just wants to, like you say, have a punching bag against every. I believe she's very misandrist. She's a misandrist, really. I don't think she actually likes men at all. And I think
that will become obvious later on too.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is the whole trope thing seems to be a big excuse to say how bad men are, but she does it in such a like, ooh, sweetie sort of way that most normies don't like comprehend. Do you know what I mean? It's like we sort of see through because we're a bit like, well, why is this bad? Oh, well, because it happens to men.
Two-Faced, right?
Yeah, but it's like if it happened to men, you'd be fine. And she's like, yeah. It's like, why are you okay with this happening to men, but not with? Do you know what I mean? It's like we see through it because we're used to.
Well, it requires a bit of being terminally online and being familiar with feminist discourse.
Yeah, exactly.
But it does become clear, if you're at all familiar with feminist discourse, that she is a pretty classic example of the one of the quote unquote good feminists who is only separate from the bad ones, and that she doesn't outwardly hate men.
Yes. But you can feel the
you hear it in most of the videos.
You can taste the venom on her words.
It's always it's always dripping in all of her videos.
Yes.
Well, most of her videos.
Anyway, we've been dwelling on this screen for a while, and it's just sad to read. So let's keep going.
That's why I don't read.
Who exists as more than just a prop in some. It takes their death and the loss of their entire future life and minimizes it down into a short, brief emotional impact on another character. It's dismissive. Now, we're about to enter the spicy take zone because, the MCU is my old favorite punching bag, but personally, this is how I felt about most of the major character permadeaths in Infinity War and Endgame.
Okay, I don't care that it's how you felt about it.
Yeah.
Because these are not examples of it. like you see she's using Black Widow's example. Black Widow's death in Endgame does not happen just to make Hawkeye feel sad for a bit.
Yeah, it has so many angles and meanings.
Well, there is,
and it's a self-sacrifice on top of that.
Yes,
she's not tortured, maimed, or anything. She decides on her own to do this in order to save Hawk.
And this is the culmination of a multi-movie long character arc as well.
Well, Hawkeye was even sad because he says it should have been him. He wanted to kill himself, and then Black Widow came in and ruined it.
Exactly, and Black Widow knew he was about to do it, and she didn't want him to, because in her eyes.
Oh yeah, his family.
Hawk would have a family to go back to if this is all done. She wouldn't. That's why she jumped ahead.
I like to think that Whisp was actually talking about me then, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's Hawkeye. It's Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawk.
Minute details. I don't give a shit anymore.
Just because I don't have a family to go back to, stop being so mean to me.
Well, I mean, by the end of the game, you don't.
All right.
That is true.
Fighting words.
Let's go.
Especially Gamora and Black Widow. Loki and Vision fairly quickly and unceremoniously, primarily to hurt the characters invested in them, but they're given narrative.
No. You don't say, oh, Loki and whoever the other person she just mentioned. Vision. You don't say Loki and Vision get fridged, but it's different.
No, they got fridged.
They all four characters she's talking about have narrative weight to their deaths.
Loki is the example of fridging, right? Because it motivates Thor to get revenge back on Thanos.
Yeah.
Only for him to come back in his own show.
She's also about to fundamentally misunderstand Thanos here, where she says that she doesn't like that he kills Gamora because it doesn't make any sense. Because it makes it seem like he's capable of loving someone else.
That's weird,
which is the entire point. It shows that he still loves other people, but he's so committed to what he's doing that he's willing to give up everything.
Yeah,
it's almost like his ideology.
It's called depth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's his fucking daughter, you moron.
Yeah, it's his ideology has overtaken his mind to the point where family love means nothing if it gets in the way of his ideology. So
right, that's the whole point. Is he's willing to give up everything, including his daughter, because he thinks that what he's doing is so important.
Yeah, because he thinks it's for the greater good, and that outweighs everything.
Yeah, and she's about to say that it doesn't make any sense for him because it means it seems like he can love other people.
Well, I mean,
it's because Thanos, this MCU Thanos, he is not inherently evil, at least not in Infinity War. Before that, when we only see glimpses of him, he looks like generic villain, but not in Infinity War.
Yeah, he's insane, but he's not purely evil.
Well, there's a flashback too where you see him raise a baby, or not a baby, but a daughter Gamora, right? When she's a little girl.
Yes.
So I don't know how you wouldn't take on how do you miss that?
She said she thinks that he's a narcissist who's incapable of love. And so this is contradicted by him showing love. So in other words, she has interpreted him as being incapable of love, seen the narrative contradict that, and concluded that the narrative is wrong.
Okay.
So that also means that she doesn't understand what narcissism is, because I would not understand Thanos. And I talk a lot about this to the point that it bores people. Thanos, did not strike me as a narcissist. He's just misguided and misinformed. And nobody in his team ever told him that, dude, have you ever thought about the basics of ecology?
Exactly. There was no Black Panther.
What?
What? What the fuck are you on about?
I forgot. You guys
to do with this.
Sorry. No, forget it.
Anyway.
Okay, anyway, moving swiftly on.
Keep on going. Let's go.
And some dignity in the process, it feels unfair and tragic universe that they couldn't be saved rather than feeling like bad writing. But Gamora, well, it's actually kind of fascinating. In the 2 movies she'd been in, her entire arc had centered on escaping Thanos and his deeply fucked up abusive parenting situation, healing and growing as a person and learning to trust and even love her new friends. Her dynamic with Nebula was following that same track, realizing they weren't enemies but victims of the same terrible situation and the same manipulative, tortuous narcissist. Thanos' shadow looms large over Gamora's arc as the root cause of all the pain and suffering in her life and the thing that scares her most that she's constantly fighting to escape. In Infinity War, Thanos is told by Red Skull that in order to get the Soul Stone, he has to sacrifice something he loves. So he kills Gamora, like permanently if she's dead. Now that's bad enough. It's worse that it works.
Why?
Gamora believes that Thanos is incapable.
Hold on, it's worse.
Why is
He's
that
the villain.
What?
Why is it bad, though?
Yeah, why is it bad?
Yeah, it's like Red.
Well,
I
because it
don't
happened-
accept your premise here.
The
I don't
premise is
accept that it's bad that this happens.
Like lore, exactly. It's just working to the logic of the lore, because like it means that like he did sacrifice something that he loved.
Would you
Why
rather he
wouldn't it
not
work
love her,
then?
or that simply that Gamora it would be fine if Gamora was not a woman but a man?
No.
Would you react any different if Gamora was a man, Red? If so, you are a sexist.
Well, yeah, she is.
No, she's asexual, Wisp. Come on.
Is she?
Well, that'd
Yes.
be funny if he didn't love Gamora,
What?
threw her off the cliff, and nothing happened.
Yeah, that'd be great if you just splattered and Red Skull went, "No, sorry, mate, you're gonna have to go home with a toaster instead."
Mark,
Yeah.
did she say that?
Yes, like there's a clip of her where she tells everyone that she's asexual but romantic.
Wait,
Oh,
hold on.
God.
Blue must
Oh,
be
God.
pretty miserable.
Red, go see your gynecologist, go see an endocrinologist, do some blood work, get an MRI, just fucking figure
Foolish
out
Wisp
what the fuck.
trying to
What the
suggest
fuck?
ideas.
Yeah, but because asexuality is not a real thing.
Of
It's being
course
pushed
not,
on
but, like,
bullshit sites like
she
Healthline
should
as
live
being
in
completely normal, but it's not. It's a disorder that you can fix because there is in almost every case, 99% of cases, there is an underlying condition that is causing this. Like, for example, a benign brain tumor pushing on your hypothalamus can be removed. Then you get feelings
but-
again.
But if she removed her brain, then there'd just be the tumor left. That'd be no good.
No,
I tell
there's
you-
only gonna be blue left.
Everybody
Blue
wants
must
to laugh
be
at
pretty
that joke.
miserable. If I remember right, Blue's her boyfriend, so
Is he the boyfriend?
No one knows.
Well,
Oh, I
do they
thought they
live
was not.
together?
I'm
and
not
that's it?
sure. I don't know anything about this channel.
Yeah.
This is not a good first impression for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
To be honest with you, this whole thing is like what someone says. Why is it wrong? Well, because I think it's wrong. Well, no. It worked in the narrative. Okay. It showed that Thanos still cared about Gamora.
Yeah, this is the
And by the
opposite.
way,
Yeah, this is the opposite of fridging, because when it's fridging, it's like, oh, the tragic thing happened. I love that woman. She's gone now. This is like, I love this girl. I have to kill her for my plot. And it's like the same effect. Someone dies and tragedy is experienced, all for this goal, which is to get the story going, which is what you do in stories, believe it or not. It doesn't matter if it's someone opening a door or someone jumping off a cliff. Something has to cause something to cause the event to occur. So by the lore of this world, this is what has to happen. It would be really weird, if not comical, if he throws her off the cliff and she's not the person or the thing he loves. And then he has to go back. Wait a second. Did I really love her? Oh, I guess not. Wait, what did I actually
yeah,
love?
but what did like Red expect to happen in this scene? Was like you have to sacrifice something you love. Like, what does she expect Thanos to sacrifice if not his quotation marks daughter?
Yeah.
It's like, what,
classic.
we're going to throw his Nintendo Switch off the wall, off the ledge?
Yeah, no, this is
Like,
classic stuff. Like you go to any medieval
and-
fantasy setting where you have to sacrifice the firstborn to appease the river spirit.
Oh, she's gonna say
Well,
that too.
But it's like she doesn't know anything about abusive love either.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is like I think EFAP mentioned this. He doesn't even have it. It doesn't even have to be real, like what we would call love. He just has to think he loves her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people have that all the time, right? Why would that be out of the question for them?
Well, this is a rather not esoteric, but this is a rather generic thing to say, that I know what love means.
Oh,
This is
sure.
what love means to me, this or that. It doesn't really matter what that means. It matters that the story says it is, and it goes, oh, that's internal. That makes sense. The story is consistent. So, if it was like, oh, you have this kind of love or that kind of love, a familial love or erotic love or whatever, like, oh, thanks for telling me, Red Skull. Nice to clarify that. So, that would be again a silly scene where we just throw someone off a cliff because that's what we thought we had to do. Which is...
Yeah, because if it was solely eros, solely sexual love, that would really be comical. You could just throw off a whore.
Yeah, exactly. Especially while actually doing the deed and then launching him off. That'd be great. Anyway, let's continue.
Of love, and quite frankly, by every indication, she's right. He's a raging narcissist who can't see past his own chins, and this should have been the test of character that screwed him over. And also, like, you must kill your loved ones to get this powerful MacGuffin and become strong is like baby's first obvious secret test of moral character, and it's frankly criminal that killing your loved ones was actually the only way to get the stone. That's just lazy writing.
So she's not even explaining what's happening in that scene.
Why is it lazy writing?
Why? It's one of the most interesting parts of the fucking movie.
It's baby's first test of character. Why does that make it bad? Why does it need to be something else?
Yeah, and within this universe, this is an amazing lock for the object of interest, for this ultimately powerful item. You have to sacrifice someone that you love. That good guys will not touch this thing unless it is utterly necessary, unless there is no other way. Then they'll do it.
Yeah,
good guys.
As we see, and bad guys. Yeah, and bad guys are unlikely to manage this because, well, bad guys may love someone, but it's unlikely they get into a situation where they can fulfill the deed because they need to get that person there. If a bad guy is in love with another bad guy, well, there's more likely a fight going to break out because the other bad guy doesn't want to die.
So the reference to Yu Yu Hakusho, I don't know what she was trying to get at because there's lots of scenes with the spirit detective teacher person. Teaching the student what to do. So it's like, okay, thanks. What does that mean, Miss Anime Chick? What are you talking about? She's flashed on the screen. My memory of Yu Yu Hakusho is not the greatest, so anyone knows in chat what that scene was about, please do so. Tell me what's going on.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I just don't like, oh, here's a thing I know, and I'm not going to tell you. I'll just play it. I'll just jump to the next topic. Yeah. Thanks.
But yeah,
I'm still stuck on, like, this is bad. It's lazy writing. Why is it lazy?
Because
why are you acting like there's some fundamental issue here?
It's lazy because you put effort in it. I don't know.
I don't read would ever come up with this kind of puzzle or look in a story.
Yeah. There has to be a meaning that's not being achieved or is failing to get there when it says it should, and I don't see that with this trope.
Yeah, but the reason why it's so lazy, and this is the only reason for it, is because a woman died, and that means it's bad. And
the thing is, we know this woman. We know that he cares about her to a point. He's not like the nicest father in the universe, obviously. He's abusive, at very least.
Mm-hmm.
So
but it's the way that way that he still has feelings for her, as in, like, he's always thought he was doing what was best for her, even though what he did was horrible and horrific. And it's a weird type of love.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he wanted her to be her successor.
Yeah, obviously, even crazy narcissists have feelings for some basic idea like parentage. They're not devoid of emotion.
Yeah, because a narcissist is not yet a psychopath. A psychopath would be devoid of that. A psychopath would only control. A psychopath is unable to love.
That would be interesting. If he could not achieve any kind of sense of devotion to his children, and he couldn't pass the test.
Yeah, if he was a psychopath, he could not pass the test because a psychopath does not love.
Yeah.
Incapable of that.
All right, let's keep going. What's this? Do you want to kill Nazis? Oh, come on. What's happening here?
You had the Grimdark option, and you had the actually interesting picked Grimdark because you thought Grimdark was automatically.
What? Grimdark?
Okay. First of all, what are you talking about? Second of all, okay, look. I want to read this for a second. Marvel used killing is bad as a secret test of character all the way back in First Avenger. Except that's not what the point of that scene is. Because that movie does not have a message that killing is bad. Captain America kills a whole lot of people in the first Avenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're killing Nazis.
And it's not even really a secret test of character. It's a question.
Yeah, he says, "Do you want to kill Nazis?" And Steve replies, "I don't want to kill anyone."
What's your primary reason for being here?
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't like bullies. I don't care where they come from.
And how is the test of the Soul Stone killing is bad? Or not the Soul Stone, whichever stone it is. I
think it's the Soul Stone. What are you talking about?
In Infinity War.
Yeah, it's the Soul Stone.
Is it? I thought the Soul Stone was the one in Vision's head.
That's the Mind Stone.
Oh.
Mind Stone, yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen Infinity War.
Oh, you gotta watch it, man.
No, I have no
desire. I read the comic.
I will force you.
Pretty happy with the comic. So,
Eric,
the comic is much better. Yes.
I watched as far as Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I'm done.
Oh, that's good too.
Although I may go back for Guardians 3, depending on how good
apparently
Adam Warlock is, because I really like Adam Warlock.
Apparently, the game is excellent. So, bravo, Marvel Game Studios, whatever.
Is it
really? Because the gameplay trailer was boring as anything.
Well, they said it was a mix of Mass Effect and what the hell was the other game?
Mass Effect. Okay.
Some other action adventure style game. But either way, they're making money. They know what they're doing. Red's a bit off topic. She's a bit ranting about the formula of Marvel when the formula for Marvel has been working rather well, minus some other films where they experimented a bit too far. So
yeah, but like, how reductive is this? Is this comparison here? Killing is bad. That's not the lesson of the first Avenger, and it's not the lesson of Infinity War.
No, so killing is not always bad.
And that's not the test of character either.
Yeah, he's selected.
Devotion.
Yeah, he's selected because of his character, not as a result of getting the serum. He then changes. He's already the right guy for the job. Anyway, White Knight Leo, thanks for the 5. EFAP covered this video on Saturday. Okay, thanks. It gets worse than what you already heard, believe it or not. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the heads up.
Yeah, but we're used to that. Especially the last 2 minutes.
Yes.
With most videos are absolute insane.
Yes, this is true.
I think the last 2 minutes of her video is an ad. So.
Oh, good. Here's another White Knight Leo.
I would guess it would be Raid Shadow Legends, but she already gave away who the sponsor was at the beginning. So.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Cap's test was about why to kill, not whether. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because if he just wants to kill Nazis, he could just say, all my enemies are Nazis, ironically. But it's like, he just fights for the little person. to defend people. That's what makes them realize that he's the person they want. He's not just gonna, you know.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let's go.
More interesting. That's just disappointing. Anyway, bad enough if they just undercut Gamora's whole personal arc by saying that the irredeemably evil, overarching supervillain who slaughtered her people and tortured her in Nebula for decades actually truly loved her all along. It crosses the line twice by having him prove that he loved her by murdering her. Gamora's in...
No. It doesn't cross the line.
Why does it cross the line? I don't get it. What is she saying here? Yes, it interrupts her arc. That's
Red does not understand. Red does not understand how people work.
That's a way to add punch to a character death, is to kill them in the middle of a personal arc.
Why is a sacrifice? Oh, gee.
You know, she wanted Peter Quill to kill her too. So what would have happened if that worked? Is he not in? Does that break the character arc for Peter Quill?
Yeah, but it's.
That would have meant that the good guys get the stone, and because he couldn't, because he's a good guy, he couldn't follow through with that.
But he did pull the trigger. I think Thanos turned it into bubbles or something.
Yes.
That's nice.
Attack was doomed from the start.
Oh, I forgot that part.
I just don't understand Red. I really don't.
No, I think Red does not understand people. That is the problem, and that you know what that makes me think. But
she had like a video where she was talking about Ray, and like she doesn't understand why people don't like this character and why they label her Mary Sue, because she's exactly like the kind of character that she would write, and that's why it's good.
Red, could it be that
that's
you are the
kind of
narcissist?
character? Wow, that's funny.
Like I think I'm hope I'm just paraphrasing it, but like she said, like it is exactly how she would write a woman in Star Wars.
What?
Oh, so no one should ever take her writing advice ever.
I don't know, because like
give her no personality.
I don't know like how she got this audience.
Pop quiz: what's Ray's core motivation?
Sand.
It gets
Getting
everywhere.
buns from the fat guy at the kiosk.
Yes, the fat guy.
The black guy, is he fridging?
She wants to find the parents.
Oh, that's the motivation.
No, she
Mommy,
doesn't.
Daddy.
Oh, she
doesn't
she
wanna
never
find
looks
her
motivated,
parents.
and you're right.
She wants her parents to
follows
come
through
home.
with that. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
Wow.
Until the next
so
movie,
powerful.
It's like Luke Skywalker
relatable.
never double up after 10 minutes of the story.
It's different from Luke Skywalker.
Oh,
Luke's
because it's a woman.
proactive, and what's her name? Mary Ray.
Mary.
She doesn't look, so it's different. That's good.
All right. 7 minutes in, not even half done. Oh my god. We might have to do a second video if this keeps up.
No.
We might, because
Arc
it's so
and
bad.
place in the narrative is undercut and sacrificed to give Thanos a character trait that makes no sense for him, and to make Star-Lord sad so he acts dumb in the finale. Oh, and to make...
No. He's not acting dumb. He's acting within his character. He's doing that because he loved Gamora and he's angry.
Yeah, and he is emotionally not as far as other people his age.
Wait, what happened? The video kind of cut out.
We can rewind it in case you missed it. Let's go.
Yeah, if you can, I appreciate it.
prove that he loved her by murdering her. Entire arc and place in the narrative is undercut and sacrificed to give Thanos a character trait that makes no sense for him, and to make Star-Lord sad so he acts dumb in the finale. Oh, and to make Thanos sad, which is given more focus and weight than Star-Lord being sad. Because obviously...
Yeah, like, a villain can't have feelings.
Oh, okay. Weird. I just...
Why
can't have
does
feelings
it make
either?
no sense for Thanos to have a character trait of the ability to feel love for another person? You need to argue this. I don't accept it, Red.
I don't know, because he's a man and he's evil. So why would they feel, I guess? I don't know.
Like you're not correct because you gave your little avatar their angry eyes.
Those are eyes.
Eric.
Her avatar always looks angry.
Eric is Mexican. We have to let him off for not knowing what eyes look like.
I have
And
glaucoma.
What really gets me is somebody mentioned to her on Twitter that EFAP was covering her.
Oh, really?
Her response to it was pretty genial, and she said that this worked for me and this didn't work for me can coexist as opinions in the same world. Only she's not saying this didn't work for me. She's saying this is bad. It crosses the line. It's not good writing. It makes no sense. Like, you're not giving statements of opinion here. And you don't get to say, in my opinion, either. Because this is not an opinion. You're making definitive statements.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
why I
bad
didn't like
writing
the
is
Lovecraft
not
video.
that's not an opinion. You are saying it is being done incorrectly.
So she's pedaling back on her formulations and and claims that she means other things than she said.
Yes.
Sounds like it.
That's point 2 on the narcissist checklist.
Would it shock you to know that? Would it shock you to hear that she's a feminist?
Oh, I know that. I
that's
know
kind of
that
obvious,
for
yeah.
years. Come on. She always has these little moments where suddenly it bursts out a bubble of political nonsense from her. Blue does this too, but less obnoxious. He just makes small side comments, but she just blurts out
Wow,
some
so you're saying it's
crap all
okay
of a
when a
sudden.
man does it, Wisp?
No,
Wow.
I said no, dude.
I'm joking.
Yeah, you don't have a sarcastic connotation, so don't.
You're too droll. I'm
I
sorry.
only
sir.
have one voice. I can't make it change. I've been over this before.
All right.
Stop sounding like a man. How about that?
All right.
I have perfected my voice. I do not need to change tones at all. Get used to it.
You have a sarcastic voice. You're supposed to use that.
Anyway, let's go.
Making the pure evil villain kind of bummed out.
But
to
he's
one of
not
Marvel's
pure
most
evil, that's the
interesting heroines.
point.
Like, I see what they were going for, but it didn't work well. It was a bad idea, and it completely
Why?
undercut
It's
everything
just bad,
Gamora had
okay.
had in
Why
the
is
previous
giving
movies.
your
Which is
villain
very
depth a
disappointing.
bad idea?
Meanwhile, Black Widow's death is similar
Very
to
disappointing.
Gamora's.
It's
but
not
bad
about
for different
Gamora, you
reasons,
twat
because
brain.
unlike Gamora, who had too much character weight and potential to warrant her unceremonious death, Black Widow was
Wait a second.
completely underused.
Wait, so she had all this character depth, and we knew about her backstory. It was fully fleshed out. Everything was great about her, and I'm sad
And
she's
somehow
gone.
she was fridged.
As opposed to she's just a tertiary character no one knows about, and her potential was wasted. It's like, what do you want?
Red,
It's
that's
almost-
the point.
guys, it's
have
almost
this.
like-
This is
It's
why
almost
her
like the
death.
problem is that a woman died.
Red, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And Red, this is the point. Because Gamora is so valuable to the story, to the audience, because she's built up so much, because she's so likable, because she's gone through her own shit. And we've been with her for a couple movies. That's why it's such a powerful scene. It wouldn't mean much if Thanos threw down someone.
A lot of
matters
people-
because
it-
he threw
a lot
down
of-
Would it
Gamora.
affect the
Well, and a lot of
audience
people-
if he threw like Ebony Maw off of the cliff to get the Soul Stone?
Wait, hold. What was if Thanos just threw off, say, like a sexy lamp? Would it still have the same effect?
What if you just threw him, Bill? Like, come on.
What if he threw the Infinity Gauntlet?
It's just
Yeah.
funny because the reaction that people had too was that it felt like it took risk. Like, I didn't think Marvel could do that. Isn't Guardian 3 around the corner?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
it's
very
like-
bold, it was a very bold move at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how you can argue that it's bad to kill a character in a way that gives it. Wasn't her entire complaint that it was okay when they killed Loki and Vision because it had narrative weight?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
Well,
now
they
she's
were-
complaining
Are
that
you
Gamora
implying-
died because she had narrative weight?
Are you implying
Yeah.
she's a hypocrite?
No,
I'm
I think she's
implying
too
she's a
stupid.
moron.
Mentally retarded.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
she's a
she's a
hypocrite.
moron.
She's just dumb.
I think she didn't proofread.
Yeah. No, I
Maybe
I
she's
I
just
think
a
she's-
smart.
Like, she's not as full up her ass as some of our other wonderful YouTube people we watch.
Generalities.
She's
But-
getting close.
But she's
ve-
like she reads stuff and she thinks, oh, that's the answer. I'll just say that. Like, that's what she does on TV tropes. That's what she does with whatever someone interpreted of Lovecraft. Oh, this guy's a racist. Let me read the racist parts. Oh yeah, he's a racist. Like, no.
Because this.
I don't even
everything
think
is
so.
about-
Remember when Hawk Google searched it and found everything that you need to know in like 5 minutes?
Yeah, and it turned out she'd not even read anything. I can't remember which trope it was, but it was kind of embarrassing. But
Yeah,
with
it's
this,
just-
every example she's given is not fridging. There's not stuffing a character in a fridge.
Well, now we're stuck because
Right.
she says originally fridging is for these tertiary characters that their entire potential is wasted because they're dead, all to affect the main character. And now she's saying, well, Gamora, all her potential is gone. It's like, no, she had all these stories about her. She went on adventures. She fell in love. She did all these things.
Wait. That means that by the original definition of fridging, they are all being fridged. Because, like I said, the original definition of fridging is a bad thing happens to a woman in a comic.
Yeah.
Per Gail Simone. We
Yeah.
were all wrong this whole time. She was right because this is all fridging because it's bad things happening to women. And Loki and Vision aren't being fridged because they're not women.
Yeah, that's literally it.
Video
But what
over.
if they identify as a woman?
Oh yeah, Loki's gender fluid now, I guess. So
Oh, there you go. I
Oh,
forgot about
no.
that.
Fridging.
Let's not go there.
See? Check and mate, bigots.
All right. Let's try and keep going.
Wow, Red's a bigot. She's okay with violence
I
against.
don't know if I can keep going.
Yeah, we might have to stop this early. Okay.
By every other movie she's been in with the arguable exception of Winter Soldier. We had this franchise for a decade, and we never got an arc for Widow that was deeper than she's hot or she's boning the Hulk. This made her narratively disposable, but you can tell that the writers...
Why?
No, it didn't. She was still a pretty strong character with a tough backstory, and the audience would have loved to have a Black Widow movie a very long time ago, before she was dead.
It's not even
Yeah.
true because her character in her introductory movie, Iron Man 2, is more than she's hot.
Yeah.
The whole point in Iron Man 2 is that she's hot, but she uses that to be a super
As an
spy.
advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, she just
What the-
seduces men to get information. Wow.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
And she does kind of have an arc in the Avengers where she's single-mindedly dedicated to getting Hawkeye away from Loki because of how important she is to him and how he represents her new family.
Yeah.
It's like she redeems herself because of her past.
Yeah.
What was the story? Hawkeye found her and decided to make a different call. I think he was sent there to
Yeah.
kill her. So
Or something.
that's
I mean,
kind of a
thank God-
redemption. I don't know.
I mean, thank God Marvel didn't actually tell us that story and just decided to tell us the story where she found her sister and killed Ray Winston. Right.
In the giant sky fortress no one can see for
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
reason.
The woman named Taskmaster. That's all great.
The female Taskmaster who's also a man because
What?
lol, women can't do.
They had two male stunt doubles. So that was great.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, no, they CGI'd the female actress's head onto a man's body
Yeah.
Nice.
It
Yeah,
looks
those guys,
so
they get
bad.
sprayed.
It looks so
because
off.
she wasn't Yeah, because she wasn't big enough and muscular enough to pass off.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's like seeing a normal man's head on a Warhammer Space Marine.
It's like the opposite of what we did with Chris Evans in Captain America in the first movie, when it's just his head on that really skinny body. Just the opposite.
Oh yeah.
Really, really off-putting.
All right.
It's like you can tell it's not her because it's like she's not reacting to stuff in the scene properly, and it just looks. Yeah.
Right. Well, let's go for another 2 minutes. We can finish this up tomorrow. It's fine.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm not available tomorrow.
All right, let's go.
I realized she was too disposable for it to be impactful. First half of Endgame, they speedrun the whole characterization process by suddenly giving her some character focus, a dynamic with the other heroes, and an alleged personal arc about treasuring the Avengers as a found family.
I don't think she knows what characterization is. What the hell is she talking about?
It has been like plenty of characterization.
The arc about treasuring the Avengers as a found family that started in the Avengers when she went and single-mindedly tried to free Hawkeye from Loki because he represented her found family. That character arc that they speedran in Endgame, the one that they'd been building up since the Avengers, the first Avengers movie, that one.
She also has a character arc in Winter Soldier, Avengers 2. What else? Civil War.
One in Civil War where her entire idea was that she didn't want the family to fall apart, so she was doing what she could to keep them all together.
Yeah. Even if Steve and her had different ideas. Sorry, you were saying?
Well, it's almost like she's had a character arc over multiple different movies, like almost like Marvel was planning like these movies to interconnect to come to like an end point, an end game, shall we call it, or something? I don't know.
I never seen it like that before.
Yeah, it's almost like Red hates Marvel so much that she's just decided that she's just going to ignore everything about it just so she can say, I don't like Marvel.
Yeah, even if the character has a vagina. It's like, oh, no, this is a bad character. They're not doing it right. Not doing it justice. It's not good enough for me.
She must have had an aneurysm when she was watching Doctor Strange and the bald woman dies.
Oh, boy.
Even though that used to be a man in the comics, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
Can't have old Asian.
Apparently, you're just not watching. You either she's not paying attention to these movies, or she didn't watch them in the first place. I don't know.
We can't have old wise Asian men anymore because that's racist.
Oh yeah, can't call the Mandarin the Mandarin.
No, that's a rights issue.
Don't care.
I think, or no? No. It was from
I think it's just the
originally, and
Hulk.
they lost those rights.
And Spider-Man.
It doesn't really matter. All it is the fact that Red clearly just doesn't. Red doesn't have a brain.
Red doesn't like bad things happening to women. That's all it is, and she doesn't like Marvel.
Yeah, Red just doesn't.
Everything else is post hoc.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
All right, here we go. Here's the Mechanist. Thanks for the $1.11 as per usual. It's always nice to see a consistent, odd thing to do on the Smudcast, but okay, cool. Yes, after a week of missing streams, I've made it, sadly, to this crap. Red is a normal SJW brain. Neuralities is Red's brain on drugs. Also, I heard Smud is a man of high culture. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know what I'm saying. I'm a man of all sorts of likes and dislikes. So if I can look at something and evaluate it for quality, I'm there. So you
like porn, yeah.
You put me in a cabaret club, I will determine the quality there. Yes. So
follower of Slanesh detected.
Sure. Here's
go on then. Yeah,
whatever he said. White Knight Leo. It pays to rewatch movies you plan to talk about. I don't think it would have helped her. I think her bias is already in the way.
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of not watching it. I think it's a matter of not caring.
Yeah, I think she watched these films. She just did not interpret them the way that they were presented.
No, I think she just watches these movies and goes, now how can I use this to hate on men?
No. I don't think it's that bad.
I don't think it's that extreme.
Oh, I don't know. A lot of feminists like this. It's not it's a lot more like passive disgust.
Yeah.
They don't. It's a passive bias against
Right.
men rather than
it's
an
not
active.
from my experience with these people. It's not conscious.
Yeah, it's like I want to uplift the woman in the story. I have to constantly attack every time she's brought down or put through conflict. That's too much. This woman should not be put through conflict, guys. She should never hurt. She should never have a tragic backstory that's too cliched. You can't give her a real story. Like all this other crap. When we have
And what it ends
stories-
up as is that all the male characters get pulled down because there's no sane way to pull the female character up.
in this case, you're right, because Thanos can't love. Thanos can't have tragedy. We can't kill off females who love other people who are also men. You can't do it. No one can die. You can't have death as a pattern in story. It's like what do you?
Yeah.
That's not how stories work.
We saw the extreme version of this with Noralities when she went over ReZero, where she presented us with equal scenes mechanically, what the characters went through, of male protagonist and female support Rem.
Yeah,
they both went through the same thing, and she saw male protagonist as absolutely horrible, and how dare he want emotional support and be heard and understood.
It made him unforgivable, remember?
Yes. And when Rem did the same thing, she was completely justified. She should get everything, and what an evil guy he was for not giving her enough. For not giving her more than he already did, which he gave her way more than I already forgot the names than Elf Girl gave him.
Amelia?
Yes, Amelia.
And then when
was that the name?
And then when Rem pretty much says, "I'm going to help you out through matter what," and he was bearing his soul. And he's like, "Oh, what a pathetic man!" I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
And then you wonder why guys are crazy.
Yeah, and they tell the men to be more emotional, be more open with their emotions, and when they do it, oh, you pathetic piece of garbage.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve
it's
her,
a trick.
blah, blah, blah.
It's
like,
just a trick.
Patience is wearing thin.
Yeah. So these kinds of arguments are just within the same video usually, and it's just getting silly. So it makes you take a pause and go for a run and get your heart going think about better things, because the bias is too thick sometimes. And I wish this was actually relevant. Like, she does have decent videos here and there when you hear tropes that have nothing to do with males or females. But this constant, she's not bad. This constant attacking of tropes just because she doesn't like them is just bizarre.
Yeah, but it's not just that she doesn't like the tropes. It's the constant attacking of tropes where women aren't, pitch perfect, like demigod.
Damsel in distress is bad because it's a woman. It's like it could be anything. Sacrificial lamb is bad because it's a woman. Well, it could be anyone.
A woman could be involved in it. Oh, this could be. It's like women are humans too. Bad things happen to men can happen to women as well.
Yeah, we could say sacrificial lamb, disposable man, disposable woman. It doesn't matter what. Someone's going to die. It's still death. Death is valuable. Everyone cares about their death. Every single living thing, at least as a conscious that can perceive death, goes, yeah, I'm going to die. This is a thing that's going to happen. It has value and weight. It doesn't matter whether the character is this big narrative crux. It's like, oh my God. It would be good if they all had value to the plot. So they all had some weight and they all had some stakes. Like if you're talking about a murder mystery, and anyone could have done it because they all had a plot to kill the guy. Like, it's contrived. It sounds dumb, but that's what holds the story together. Everyone's involved in some way. We don't know exactly until we figure it out, or the detective tells us. That's what you do in stories like that. The same with a normal plot. Everyone should be connected in the main thrust of the story. And sadly, it's not good enough for Red here. It just, she has lovers, she has friends, she has family. through all this entire arc of the MCU, no, it's not good enough. She shouldn't die.
We also dislike this trope, but not for the reasons that you dislike it.
Yeah. And the trope is so basic. Like, there's other tropes that do death in more detail. If you actually read the, I wouldn't even call it a trope stuffed into the fridge or whatever it's called. It's maybe a few paragraphs. That's nothing.
It's not worth calling it a trope. It's just very ill-defined. It's very, very limited.
No, I just don't like tropes defined by feminists and think that's valuable. It's like, this is not a literary value.
Just junk. Just sexist junk.
It's at best a comic
They're
book
trying to sell us
representation.
they're trying to sell us as not sexist or
Yeah,
anti-sexist.
it's
Just
kinda
like
like-
the anti-racists are trying to sell us their racist race theory as the opposite of racism.
It's kind of like seeing a dismembered hand and going, oh my God, I know that character, or I knew that character. I think I know where that's from. Who's the psycho who did that? Yada, da, da. That's the extent of the mechanical use of the story is for shock value. That's it. Which you can do in many, many ways. It has nothing to do with a male or a female. It's all about freaking out the audience and freaking out the main character. And the emotion, the supposed emotional attachment, which is fine.
But then Red would go like, oh, I've seen a severed hand. Is it a male or female hand? Because if it's a male hand, it's okay. With a female hand, that's wrong, and that's bad
Yeah,
story.
you know, it's kind of weird how the body parts of a woman are attractive even to women. And we feel sad when women and children die, believe it or not. We're not as sensitive to men dying for some strange reason. I don't know why.
It's all
evolutionary.
It is, yeah. It's there. But
it
works.
To it. It's like
because reproductive bottleneck has priority.
We might even say there's an objective value to that, but that'd be stretching.
There is an objective value to that.
Intelligence. Yeah, but these people, everything that is your opinion has nothing to do with objective facts. I can't say that.
Well, they also don't believe in an objective reality. Many of them.
Well, that's even further.
Do you also want to be a sexist too, Smud?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do a little sexism.
May as well. Okay. Anyway, 2 minutes, and we'll call it night because we got whiskey to drink and things to do
right,
tomorrow.
I still have some whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. What are you talking about? Can't forget that stuff. All right.
I forgot to empty the glass last time.
Jeez, take it easy there, Whisp. I forgot to empty the bottle. Oh, okay.
No, the glass, not the bottle.
How would you not finish your glass? What did you give yourself a big
because
pour?
I am so bad at being an alcoholic that I forget to keep drinking.
You open the can of beer, I'll take 2 ounces. That's good enough for me.
The smell is enough for me.
Yeah, the bubbles attract me enough. I'm good.
The aroma.
All right.
Back to fridging.
That's all it takes for one German. Just crack,
Back to the fridge.
Crack the can and back into the fridge you go. There you go. The idea of drinking beer. Okay. Anyway.
That's the real fridge.
Should I feel bullied?
No, we love you. We love you. We love having a multicultural Smudcast.
Wes, we love you. Now, with Eric, then it would be bullying. So.
Well, I mean, it's not. It's stating facts, right?
Yeah, sure. Okay, then. Anyway.
Can we get through this? This is
2 minutes. Yes. Sorry, let's go.
2 minutes, yeah.
It was an attempt to make up for lost time so we'd be sold on her sacrifice, but it was clearly token. The fact that the movie completely stopped acknowledging her death 5 minutes...
What is token? The death is token? What does that mean? I don't get it.
What does she mean the movie stopped acknowledging her death? What happens after she sacrifices herself?
They use the gauntlet and Thanos appears. I don't know, like, when it would have been a good time for them to mourn about her death. Seriously.
People kind of didn't have time. Yeah, people kind of didn't have time because they were busy saving the universe. And usually what happens then is that you have some losses on the way.
Okay.
Well, they did mourn,
she's gonna say here that Tony Stark gets like a big state funeral and a send off. So
because that was at the end of the whole bloody story after all the conflict was over.
And that's the thing is, even like the thing with that is Tony Stark, besides the meta factor of Iron Man being the first MCU movie, and Robert Downey Jr. being the biggest name, and it being essentially a send-off to him because he's leaving the franchise. Tony Stark in universe is like a billionaire and a major public figure. In universe, who is Natasha Romanoff?
Some slut.
An asexual spy.
She's a ghost, yeah.
She leaked all that S.H.I.E.L.D. information, and she
Yeah, she's
testified
still a
before Congress.
Yeah.
But how would that affect the everyday person the same way billionaire Tony Stark would?
Who everyone knows
who you can define
Who do you
as
think,
understand
like-
as a real superhero?
Yeah, who do you think, if I can try to use real world analogs a bit here, who do you think is a more popular public figure, Elon Musk or Edward Snowden?
Tommy Wiseau.
Elon Musk, wouldn't it?
It's funny, Mark.
Yeah.
Elon
funny,
Musk,
Mark.
the richest man in the world, unless that's Jeff Bezos, I don't remember. Or
Also, like Tony
Nobody
Stark
cares
has like
about Jeff
way more
Bezos.
role in like
Or-
conducting the plans for the MCU movies. Like when they had to like come up with like a way to save the world.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember Natasha ever coming up with like any plans that saved them. She was just
Mark-
partaking in each of one of them.
Yeah.
Talks like that. I don't remember this bitch making any plans. Who the fuck is she? She just sat there taking all the credit.
She was just.
Yeah,
it's just what did she do? Like other than sacrificing herself, which like really
She
dated the Hulk.
She
Exactly.
She killed Ray Winston.
I guess that's fine.
Well, even in the
it's the
first
thing- the
Avengers
thing
film, she was always just doing the stuff that a human could do, or that was easy enough that if you weren't Captain America, you could do it.
I never understood why she was in the big superhero action group scene
she's not.
fight
She's a
things
spy.
because she. Yes, but she was in those scenes with the group shot of everybody doing the hero thing now.
I know.
While
And
she
it doesn't
is
make
just
sense.
a human. She's a very
Neither does
capable
Hawkeye
human, but
make
she's
sense
just a
either.
human, and she
Just
has
as
no.
Hawkeye.
Contrary to Iron Man, she has no super tech that gives superpowers, or the equivalent of superpowers. She's just some very capable woman.
She's
nothing
Russian.
more. She should just, for her, they wanted a shot with everyone, all the heroes in the same shot thing. What I should have done that is at the moment where they leave, and then Black Widow goes on to her personal side quest that is important for the whole team, able to fulfill the actual goal that they are brute forcing themselves towards. Like the job, you could imagine this like Black Widow has the job of being an infiltrator, opening that one door that nobody else can open. Best from the inside.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just wondering what the reaction would be if Hawkeye died. Would that be okay then? Because nobody cares about
Yeah.
Hawkeye?
Yeah. No, they'd be upset about his wife because when men die, women most affected.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay, let's go.
After they got back is really just kind of indicative of how little she mattered. Tony's heroic sacrifice got every hero in the MCU paying their respects, a protracted funeral scene, and an entire movie about how hard it is for the MCU to move on without him. Tasha got a bench in a lake and a solo movie a year and a half after she died. If we were supposed to believe she really mattered, the story should have acted like it. And it should have acted like...
So wait, she wanted Tony to die? Really?
She wanted
No,
who to die?
Red wants a 10-minute long funeral scene for Black
Just
Widow.
like Tony's, because like she has just as much value as Tony Stark in the movie.
And she's
God
a
damn it.
woman. And Gamora should
Tony
also
Stark
get a
brought back
10-minute
half
funeral.
the universe. Or
The whole Infinity War should stop for 10 minutes to give a funeral to Gamora.
They should have gave a funeral to every character who died.
No, only the women.
Goodbye, Green.
Yeah, well, the bald woman that nobody knows about. I don't know.
Fu Manchu.
This really is like Axlot says. It really is just woman dead, trope bad. Everything should stop. Just say that women, just woman. It's silly. It's stupid.
Red is if all you define yourself and the worth of others by is whether they're women, you're a really horrible person.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like in universe, Tony Stark is not getting this big a funeral because he's a man. Tony Stark is getting this big funeral because he's the founder of the Avengers. He's super rich. Everybody knows who Tony Stark is.
Well, and before Captain America and Marvel, it was kind of the first superhero that sort of appeared.
Yeah.
At least publicly known. Before.
Yeah, and it was because all the bad action, all the horrible stuff was over.
And yeah, Spider-Man
there was no rush anymore
had a connection to Tony, so that's why he feels sad for him.
The threat was gone. We finally have time to breathe, so we can also take time to mourn. While we are in the middle of a battle, and yes, hunting for the stones to be quicker than Thanos is still the battle. It's not just a big thing on the battlefield. While the battle is going on, we do not have time to mourn. Because the enemies keep moving and keep killing. If we just mourn everyone who falls on the battlefield,
and even if
we do not have time to fight.
Yeah, and even after the fighting's over, again at the end, Tasha Romanoff is a woman, a secret agent. She was not a famous billionaire. Like if it had been Hawkeye in that situation, you think he would have gotten a giant state funeral?
Yeah, nobody knows who Hawkeye is.
Yeah. He would have gotten the same thing. He would bench on a lake.
Yeah, what about
How
Ho
much
Yin,
mourning
the
did
guy
Vision
who aided Tony Stark out, huh? Yeah, how much mourning did the Vision get? How much mourning did that guy Erskine, right? Or is it Erskine? I don't know. It has a K, doesn't it?
Erskine, yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
So did he get a funeral? I mean, he made Captain America. Where's his funeral?
All right. Let's keep going.
For longer than just like the hour-long wind-up to her advance the plot for stupid, contrived reasons. Was she just getting too expensive? Is that what the problem was? I mean, come on, guys. And it's kind of telling that the MCU has rolled back or undercut all 4 of those deaths in one way or another. Loki and Gamora have time-displaced versions with 0 character development running around to replace their more interesting dead versions. Vision got an actual proper send-off in WandaVision, and Wanda got to actually grieve, plus he's got his own not quite the same copy running around now for future appearances. And of course, Black Widow is finally getting that solo movie we were promised, which is a damn hard sell at this point now that she's already dead, and thus frankly...
Wait, these are all external to the movie we're referring to. Why are we doing this? This is dumb.
But suddenly it counts what happens in other movies.
In this other story, stuff happens. Like, that's not the argument. You have to base it off the scene where she dies and why that's valuable or not. You can't just say, oh, well, other heroes have other stories. It's like, yeah, so... I don't get your point. Why don't you value the actual thing you're talking about, not other tertiary or external sources? Why not focus on the primary one? This is dumb. You don't do this.
Yeah, but also it's not like, oh no, Gamora's now running around with like 0 character development. Oh, you mean like she can grow again and get all those stories and go through all these new things again? I mean, yeah, it's bad writing with stuff, but it's like, but that's what you want. You want more stories with her.
I mean, I don't imagine James Gunn would do this, but they could just pretend like Infinity War didn't happen and Gamora's all caught up in the same character as she was, but I don't know what he plans to do for that movie.
Yeah.
Well, technically, Gamora has to go through the whole, and Star-Lord have to go through the whole relationship building again, which is hell for Star-Lord.
Yeah, let's talk about the comic books. Let's talk about the video games. Talk about all the other things that she could be in or isn't. It's like that's not. You can't.
Yeah.
That you're wasting our time. Focus on the problem. Don't say, "Oh, look at as a result of the reset where everyone came back to life." It's like, yeah. Point. What's
All the women that came back. Yep.
this is? I don't even know why she's saying these things.
Irrelevant. If the deaths had been properly impactful, worth the cost, none of this rollback would have been necessary.
No. Why would you say? Okay, listen. What was the whole point of going to that one instance that Doctor Strange found? He says, okay, there's out of all the possibilities, there's only one that we survive. That was the point, right? They wanted to get the one reality where everyone survived.
Yes.
Okay. So there's your answer, Red. It has nothing to do with the character arcs of this or that. Like they wanted to win. If the goal was winning, in a war people die. It's possible. The scene is not literally gun versus gun. There's some other instance where someone has to sacrifice themselves. They're willing to do it, and they did. Why can't you see her sacrifice as heroic and part of her character?
Here's the problem she just said. She's talking about this rollback, saying like if all these deaths should have been impactful, because they're now rolling back with them. She literally said Vision and Loki's deaths were impactful with stuff earlier in the video.
Because they have series outside the Infinity War ending.
Yeah, but now she's contradicting what she said earlier in the video. She's saying none of the 4 deaths she's brought up is impactful, and it's like, but you said they were impactful with stuff.
But now they're not because the shows exist, even though Vision is still dead. But
Vision had no build-up in the movies, really.
Yeah, but the thing is, what she's saying is the deaths weren't impactful. That's why they've had to roll them back and bring them back alive and stuff, or do these different versions. It's like, but you said they were impactful. You said the men's deaths were impactful. That's why it's wrong. Whereas the women's deaths aren't impactful. Yeah, she's not making sense.
Yep.
It's like she gets so far, forgets what she said, and then carries on saying whatever random shit's in her head. It's almost like every 5 minutes it's a new topic that she's completely forgotten about the last topic. And it's like, I just sit here, listen to it, like going, what the fuck are you actually... The start, the middle, and the end of this video don't make sense to me. And we're only barely at the middle.
Attention span of a cat.
No, cats have an attention span, though.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and hers is 5 minutes.
No.
I'm saying 5 minutes in like
Not
a
even
nice
5
way.
minutes, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah.
What is my cat doing then?
Well, it's your cat.
It's your
What's
cat, so
marking
you
humans?
don't know. It's on a podcast pretending to be a lad called Eric.
Because I'm a pussy.
All right. Anyway, we got 30 seconds. We'll finish it off.
That was a lot better than I was
so
going to say.
close.
Eric.
Guys, let's go.
Now, in fairness, the fact of the matter is that characters are not real people.
Oh, shut the... What
No.
the... Come on.
Yes, Spud, get mad.
Are
Get
you-
mad.
By the way, guys, this is all fictitious. It doesn't really matter. No one's actually dying. There's no actual relationships happening.
Shit, dude.
Oh my god. Hold the phone. Are you telling me that this is all fictitious? I thought
I
it
never
was
knew
real.
that.
I do not believe that she would be able to write anything.
No,
Can't discern from fiction and non-fiction. Yeah.
The fact that she thinks she needs to do this to explain to people, oh yeah, by the way, none of this is real. I'm like, no shit, no, bro, no.
Way to insult your viewers.
Fucking.
I think we could end there.
Red, what you don't understand is that you are the main character in your own life, but you are a side character and sometimes just a plot device in someone else's life.
Or just an NPC that I really don't want to talk to in my stuff.
This video is fictional.
I just can't. I can't believe. Yeah, just
Blue's
stop,
the main
because-
character, right?
No. Fucking hell.
All right. Anyway, we're going to complete this
Stop the
tomorrow.
simulation.
This is so... Guys, do you know that video games aren't real? Oh, yeah, thanks. Thank you, Nostradamus.
Oh, so I'm not actually killing people.
Glad you figured that one out.
But they make you sexist.
Yeah, I know.
All that rambling about Black Widow just so like we know that like characters aren't real. Okay.
Yeah, guys, none of this matters, guys. It's not real, so don't worry. Everything I said makes sense.
All these problems, they don't matter because it's not real. Then why do you spend 10 minutes complaining about it?
Yeah, why are you even making a video?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to today's.
I'm really tired of that.
Well, there goes another love interest. Aww. Bill Murray.
How are we giving up?
A fridge.
Until tomorrow.
Yeah, we're giving up tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
I thought you just gave up. I thought you left.
No, I'm in
The
the
death
middle
of women,
making
the
a video.
death of drama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Feminist, the lurking fridge. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god. Yes.
Here we have the one true fridge. Thank you, Abby.
Yep.
That's beautiful. Here we have the evil fridge and a sexy lamp. I've never really seen Eris as a leggy dame, but okay. Okay, I'll never ever be able to reach that place, the fridge.
Oh god.
Is this Berserk? What is that?
Yes, this is Berserk when Griffith sees the vision.
Oh my god. Thanks.
Jesus Christ.
Thanks, unconvincing robot. That was something.
Matthias, what the fuck is that?
Why have you put him in?
What is this?
Why?
Because Glib wants you to watch him.
Is this guy?
No.
Yeah, this is the Nikocado.
Why are
Is
they
this Glib?
Why are they
Is this
kissing?
Glib?
What the hell is going on here?
Yes, that's Glib. It's Glib and Nikocado.
Oh my god, Glib. What the fuck, man?
What the? These are really fat people, and they're making out amongst a pile of food.
That's all he does to himself.
I don't understand.
Like, he actually is killing himself. I don't know why.
Capsaicin's not that attractive, guys. I don't know about you, but a tornado, no.
You gotta watch him.
Another Berserk.
Another person, yeah. Oh dear.
Oh, is that Salmon?
Ah. Is that a cartoon? What is that?
Nah, it's Dragon Ball Z when Yamcha blow up.
Oh, but they put Samus.
Is that Salmon? Yeah, it's Salmon.
It looks like Samus.
Yeah, it's from the new game, right? What?
All right.
She hot.
Samus is awesome.
You realize that now?
I like her Eric's like I can see this unconscious person on the floor. She's kind of hot. I'm like Eric.
Here's Red explaining fridge
That's
trick
how I get a date. I mean,
affecting women, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful, quick animation.
that's funny. I think Glib shared that. So.
Yeah, did Glib do that? Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Uh,
A loved one is killed in order to motivate someone else or move their plot forward. Surprise for you in the fridge.
Oh no!
And Germany sees.
oh god!
Oh no! Don't say it. No!
Holy.
No!
I don't know if that's a joke or I don't know what that is.
No! It's surprisingly realistic. It's historically accurate.
Really? Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Works for men too, apparently. And dictators. Fridged characters. Unfridged character.
Oh god.
Oh boy. A genuine human being and a sexy lamp. Okay.
Is that Nick Cage?
Yes, that is Nick.
Yeah, that is him.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And is that a pig?
Is that yes? That's just literally that's not even on a movie set. That's just his
That's
house.
just Nick Cage, yeah.
It's just
Yeah, it's just-
One of his islands. I don't know which one.
I don't know which one. It really has multiple.
Well, he used to.
He bought a castle, and it's cost him so much that he needs to like do all these B movies to pay it off.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, living in a castle is expensive. You have shit insulation.
What the heck? Guampo XSV, no eggs, empty egg carton meme, full with clean audio. Well, I can't play that, but you guys check that out.
Is that a feminist?
Probably.
Punching bag, and then we have
Scarecrow.
the scarecrow. Okay,
This is straw man.
I think that's
Strawman,
the implication. Yeah, strawman as opposed to punching bag.
This is too smart for me.
Oh no, we going to eat some pizza while suffering listening to Red.
Oh, Mateus, you need to send me some pizza.
What's the American Psycho memes? Or, like,
They're relevant.
It's the newest movie in Brazil.
What? Oh, it's Ghostbusters. Look at
It's
that.
the only U.S. movie.
oh my god, yeah, she got fridged. Literally.
By a dog. Hawk's brain with this video. Oh dear.
Why? I would have thought it'd be
That's
me
when
just hacking. Just hacking.
Fridge test women fridging. Let's not play that one. I'll be good. What's with all these Americans? Like this is like the fifth one. Cool with the anti-Thanos remarks, Red.
Cool with the anti-Thanos remarks, Red. Why?
Are you just sharing glibs?
I just printed Glib's gift collection.
What if Matthias is actually just glib?
Yeah.
Black glib?
Nah.
New friends welcome,
Brazilian
no non-friends allowed. Okay.
It's a wonderful picture.
If female characters are more likely to be fridged, it's because the audience is more likely to care. Oh, Casey Hudson.
Smud.
That's very smart take.
Why does he look like you, Smud? Is my eye deceiving me?
He doesn't look like me. He has curly hair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do a photo. I'm gonna have to do a comparison or something.
Plus,
why?
my hair doesn't grow that.
You mean Smud's avatar on YouTube? Because I think like, that avatar is like a mix between
It's
Big
actually-
Boss and this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. Casey Hudson.
Get Grubhubbed.
Oh, I hate this commercial. I want it to die.
What does this mean?
What is this? Yeah.
Is this also American Psycho?
This is
What?
it's Grubhub commercial.
I don't know what that
This is the Brazilian remake of American Psycho.
Oh no, Neptunia. Oh, I see you're a smut of culture? What the hell does that mean? I've never actually played this game, guys. I just know the characters because Alex Halo doesn't stop posting them.
They're
And-
quite
Alex
funny
just
games
not
with
stop.
weird mechanics.
And unfortunately, it's by
Alex never stops.
Gorgeous Rex, not Alex, so I don't know what's going on. How to consume media as a feminist, lie down, trying to cry a lot. Oh, poor feminist.
Yeah. Oh, no, not really. I'm
Well,
alright with them
lying
crying.
down and throwing up, then trying not to cry, then crying. I don't know. It's kind of a weird order of
Then
events.
type something angrily on a keyboard and release the first draft.
Eat a bunch of chips, ice cream,
All right.
sandwiches.
Apply to DC Comics as a riot.
I'm not
All right.
Starfire.
All right. 9 minutes, 33 seconds. Everything's just fictional, guys. Doesn't matter. You're going to die eventually. Babies will be born after you. You know, that's life. What are you going to do?
I know. Wow, what
You'll
a video.
soon be
Awesome.
forgotten, don't
Insane.
worry. I really, really hate Red. Honestly, I do. I really hate this. Ugh.
Anyway, we're done for the evening, and we're going to go have a drink and relax and check out the news and whatever we do in the evening.
Go to bed and actually do proper work in the morning
Yes.
because I'm not a lazy fucking psychotic bint on the internet.
Exactly. Did I miss a super chat? I'm sorry. Let me go back. No, I didn't miss any super chats. Was it a donation? Let me check. Yes, one tip from the mechanist. Thank you, sir. Does anyone know a cheap USB microphone? Preferably one with a headphone jack. Wait, a headphone jack with a USB. Does that make sense?
No, but carry on.
The one I have in my my description is actually really cheap, and the one I bought for what's his name? What did I buy it for?
Well, it's not cheap, but the
Dunn, yeah.
the Blue Yeti. What's
Dunn's name?
I was trying to remember because I remember the picture. I was like, who's that again? And it's like Lord Commander Captain blah 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 Dunn. It's like he has a big long name.
Dr. Professor Dunn.
Patrick. Dr. Professor, Mr. Dr. Professor Dunn to you, Eric.
Yeah, so it's called the
number one Megamave Fresh.
It's the Mayano AO4 USB microphone. It's like $70 or whatever. It's pretty good.
70?
70, yeah.
7 or 70?
70.
70.
That's what it said. 70.
That's not cheap anymore.
Because
I could also say that the Blue Yeti also fulfills this criteria.
I think it's more expensive actually.
Yeah, not much.
Well, I'm just saying this is cheap. It works. It comes with a free stand. You get a nice USB cord, and it works. It's easy. So, anyway, thank you guys. We're going to do this again tomorrow, if not the day after, depending on how stressed out we are tomorrow and who wants to join. But thank you so much. This is Red. What can we say? It's always crazy with her. Hopefully, less so in the days to come. But this is
still can't believe that.
Not a terrific first impression.
That when I first saw her videos, many
popular channel.
Yeah, her videos are good.
Impression.
But
many years ago.
But
whatever.
I think as the years went by, she's been losing it.
Yeah, because I remember the first videos I saw of her a long time ago. I didn't see the crazy. I didn't see the crazy. There may also be a lack of experience, but I understand why people watched her initially. But she's just.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's not $70. It's $50.
I just checked the Blue Yeti. It's 122 on Amazon right now.
So
what? So I got mine for 80.
So yeah. So I do apologize. It wasn't 70 American. It's 50 American. So there you go. I didn't know the price changes all the time. At the time I bought it was 70. So obviously, it's cheaper now. Good for us. Isn't the market wonderful? It's great. Okay. Anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you guys. Have yourself a great evening. We'll see you real soon. Thanks, guys, for popping in. Sir Axelot for popping in late. That's great. No problem. I think we're going to have another guy pop in as well. He wanted to be in. Maybe he'll be in tomorrow. What was his name? Nicolakon? Yeah. So maybe we'll see him tomorrow. We don't know. Anyway, have a great night. Take it easy. Bye-bye now.